All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's edition of Throwback Thursday on the channel, as today we will be rewatching the 2008 spring race at Richmond International Raceway. It's going to be a fun one today. This race, obviously, I think a lot of fans, both current and past, would recognize this race for its infamous finish, to say the least. Try not to spoil it in the chat. I know most of you probably know what happens in this race, or at least by the very end of it. For myself, I don't really know exactly what went down throughout the course of the race, or at least can't remember of what went down during the course of the race outside of really the battle at the very end, those last like 20 to 30 laps, and then ultimately the finish of the race as well. So be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We'll get into tonight's coverage, and we'll let the Fox guys take it in. And they're muted.
Here, since we've done a short track race on Fox in the nighttime, that's the right time. This is going to be fun.
Oh, I like that Neil Diamond song. Thank the Lord for the nighttime. Forget the day. It's a lot more exciting at night. The lights make the cars just pop off the screen at home. Folks, you're going to have a great time. Watching the brake rotors, you see the flames out the exhaust pipe, things you don't see in the daytime.
And the thing about it, yeah, it's been a year since we did a night race on Fox on a short track.
But I remember when Richmond used to be at night all the time. Now it's in the day.
Do a short
it's kind
track
of weird.
Race. And, you know, when you think about Saturday night short track racing, it's where we
that Emmy they have sitting right there on the
short track on Friday or Saturday night. The thing about it, this is a 400-lap race, and you're going to have guys like Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Montoya. They're going to be up on that wheel with both hands and feet for the drop of the green flag, so you better not fool around when they drop it.
Wait, Zelensky, Patty Runyon Creations, thanks for tuning in.
No less. Let's have
nope, it's another Throwback Thursday. Here's the starting lineup. Denny Hamlin on the pole.
Denny Hamlin. He won last
Mark
night.
Martin
he won the pole for this race. He had a great
Carpentier starting in fourth. What? See, Reed Sorensen starting fifth. Where's the starting lineup?
Daryl, how about the driver who qualified fourth? What a great surprise there with Patrick Carpentier.
Dave Blaney qualified top 20.
Hey, Pat, Carpentier, this is Darrell Waltrip up in the booth.
He did not say, hey, Pat. I don't know how how did he say his name? He did not say it right.
The starting lineup.
How did he say Carpentier?
Led by the hometown hero, Denny Hamlin. He won last night. He won the pole for this race.
I gotta listen to that again.
Race night on Thursday.
How do you say Carpentier?
And, high expectations for Hamlin this evening. Great. Daryl, how about the driver who qualified fourth? What a great surprise there with Patrick Carpentier.
Yeah, let's see if we can get old Pat on the phone here. Hey, Pat, Carpentier, this is Darrell Waltrip.
Carpentier. I don't even know how he said it. Carpentier.
Hey, man, best qualifying effort yet, and you're right up there amongst the hot dogs. What are you going to do tonight?
Sounds so much like Clint Boyer.
I was going to ask you, how do you start this thing once you're up front?
I guess the best thing you can do is knock those fenders off and make you a little more comfortable, wouldn't it?
No, hey, I love the view. I mean, it's the team did a great job. I want to thank Lifelock, and hopefully we got a good. We're not too far off in qualifying trip, so hopefully I can stick with these guys. The hard part for me is going to be to stay with them and hopefully be there at the end.
Buddy, I hope you can stay up there all night. Great qualifying run. Good luck. You really are doing a great job.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, Larry Mack going to be back in the booth this weekend. Welcome to the stream, by the way, also Noah.
Make it a great race day with a perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Just turn left and enjoy Budweiser, the great American.
Dylan Fisher, thanks for tuning in. Open wheel guy.
What are the keys to tonight's race?
Well, there's a lot of keys, but one, you know what? We hear about aero. It's not about aero here. It's all about handling for 400 laps, especially on these long sweeping corners, picking that throttle up and being able to stay in it on the straightaways. Watching the Nationwide Series race last night, you better get fresh tires every chance you get to come to pit road and get four of those.
That's just like now.
And you know what? It's a short track. Check your emotions. You know, DW told me yesterday, you might treat it like a short track.
Remember this.
Like
Remember this.
That's
convenient that that was one of Larry Mack's trends before the race started.
One to go at the line. Another
check your emotions.
At Richmond International Raceway, 16 straight years.
Wow, 16 straight sellouts.
112,000 fans are here to see short track Saturday night. It's a 3/4 mile racetrack.
Wish that many people still showed up to short track
In the
races.
pit window,
Jeff Gordon is the only driver dropping the rear. 90 to 100 laps pit window.
Jeff Gordon, when he went, this was an impound race. They couldn't work on these cars after qualifying. When he went to crank it in the garage area, it wouldn't crank. They had to change the starter.
P-Chat, thanks for tuning in.
And he's got to be careful, Mike. He could go a lap down very easily here early in this run.
Talk about a little short track in Vermont, Thunder Road being the nation's site of excitement. Tonight, the nation's site of excitement is right here.
It really is. And we got old Digger. He's buried down there. He's waiting to see who's going to run over him first.
He'll get plenty of action.
He's going to be taking names tonight.
They start with their tempers and fenders intact. Last night in the nationwide race, battle for third place, changed hands twice in the last lap. Nobody's tempers stayed intact. Nobody's bumpers did either. But here we go.
It's Saturday night, and Saturday night's all right for fighting. Reach up there, pull those belts tight. One more time.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Hamlin's sparking.
We see the sparks already flying. That means this track has a lot of grip. They're faster than they've been all weekend long.
Well, and you're real low air pressure. I mean, you're probably down to 20-odd pounds in the right and in the teens in the lefts to start this race. Tire buildup is a big issue here.
Pole sitter and hometown hero Denny Hamlin led the first lap.
Curious to see how long Carpentier holds on to the top 10.
And let me define that. Tire pressure buildup.
Same thing goes for Sorensen.
See, all the Gillette ever
Both of them qualified in the top 5.
Run. We talked to Patrick Compartier in the 10. You see Elliott Sadler in the 19. And Casey
Larry
Kane
McReynolds
in the
said his
9.
name the same way Darrell Waltrip just did.
Kane looking out at Elliott Sadler to his right. Right with Montoya. Kane got his first ever Cup win here from the pole.
Yeah, that was an exciting race for Casey. Remember, he held off Tony Stewart, his hero, to get that win.
Led over half the race. See how much brake you use getting off
Gonna
from
say a
these
lot of
corners?
oh, a little contact.
Pablo Montoya, we're looking at him in the 42 car.
Montoya got into Carpentier.
Off the turn 4 last time.
Oh, there, that's casual contact.
Just a little rough.
He's been stuck on the outside lane the entire time, too.
It's easy to call it casual when you're standing up here. You ought to be riding in that 10 car.
I think the groove widens out over the course of the race, if I remember correctly, but not where you want to be right now. Montoya forced his way in there. There was not a lot of room for a race car, and he definitely stuffed it in.
Concerned about that left rear tire on Pat's car because I'll tell you that splitter gets in there, it can work on that left rear tire.
Yes, it can.
He's getting beat, banged around. Look at it. Right as I said that, Newman got into him. He's getting absolutely
Jimmy Johnson, I think that's the car you're going to have to beat, like Jeff Hammond said.
knocked
He's
around.
always right when it's nighttime.
He's trying to force his way to the bottom now.
He's not careful. He didn't give him good advice.
He's got, there he goes.
You didn't tell him about
Finally got to the bottom. He fell back to 11th.
Yeah, then finally he gets down on the bottom. That's what he was trying to do, but nobody would let him.
Kind of reminds me of the first time that Juan Pablo Montoya ran a short track. They kept telling him, take care of the car. He said, how do you take care of it when everybody's beating on it?
That's right. I'm doing my part.
Stewart looking for and getting a little room on the outside of
Tony trying to make some passes up high.
This is for 13.
Guess if you have a strong enough car, you're probably able to get it done.
Now, one thing we want to keep an eye on, and we don't want to harp on it all night long, but
How much deeper he drove it into the corner than Carpentier, too.
problem with brakes if you overuse them.
Carpentier holding his own with Stewart.
The reason I mention that is I see these guys really pounding these things off in the corner, using a lot of brake. Steve Burns.
It is kind of weird to me personally seeing Tony Stewart in a Car of Tomorrow number 20 car. Because outside of 2008 and a couple races in 07, that wasn't the case.
But we've made some changes to this race car that will
I think of Tony Stewart Dakar tomorrow, and I always think of the 14.
Well, and as I mentioned, this was an impound
Office
race. They got
Depot,
1-2 hour practice in the middle of the day
Spice,
yesterday when the track
even
didn't
Burger
have a lot
King
of
at
grip. It's
Daytona
cooled
that
down
one year.
now and has a ton of grip.
2009.
So you had to kind of figure that into what you put into the car to go qualify.
And good teams and good drivers, they can anticipate. That's a word that I love in racing. The crew chief, the shop guy, the driver, they all anticipate.
All right, Dave Blaney in 15th.
20, 30,
Qualified
40,
well.
70 laps into a run.
Picked up a couple spots off the start.
Action right there. Michael Waltrip's 55 was racing with point leader Jeff Burton, the 31.
Jeff Burton leading in
Paul
points
Menard
right now.
and Clint Boyer, and Michael got up and into the wall a little bit.
Yeah, I think he got a little smoke coming off that right side now. Let's see how hard he gets into it.
Oof.
Oh, yo. Yeah, he tried to climb up the wall. Maybe went up the hill. He wasn't trying to fetch a pail of water either.
Weirder seeing it. Yeah, that's true too. That is a good
He's doing
point.
a pretty good job of it.
1 year he
Martin
drove
Truex in the
Toyota.
one, slipped into second right in front of his teammate Mark Martin. Then it's Reed Sorensen. Kyle Busch has worked his way up to fifth.
Now, we documented as we took the green flag, Jeff Gordon had to start this race at the rear of the field, and I've been watching him. He's in a box back there right now.
I was going to say he started at the rear, but he's still in 40th.
The big problem is the leader.
He is not picking up a lot of time at all.
6 to 8 seconds behind him. That's the
Like, he is
problem.
not driving away from those guys at the very back of the pack.
That 24-car struggles in traffic. I mean, we've seen it time and time again, and he's in very heavy traffic.
Jeff Gordon is going to need frequent caution flags to keep in touch with the lead pack.
I mean, he may go a lap down before long, honestly.
Hamlin from Chesterfield, Virginia, has led them all. You're
Hey,
watching
Reed.
NASCAR on Fox.
He's hanging on to it for right now. Look at young Denny.
I got a special delivery today.
Second year Cup driver Denny Hamlin.
And that's where I'm staying.
It's crazy. I don't know how old he is here.
21 laps complete.
Was he like 41, 42
42
right now? I think he's 42.
Beautiful sunset from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear for track-tested technology. Get there.
Couple years
Goodyear
older than me in that
Innovation. Casey Kane has moved past Kyle Busch. and
Ashley
into
G,
the
thanks for
fifth
tuning in.
position.
Ooh, Red Sky at night. Did you see that?
Yeah, racer's delight.
A 2-second lead for Hamlin. 23 laps in. It's also weird seeing Casey Kane in a Budweiser car also.
And here's Carl Edwards.
kinda odd.
Racing for 15th against Patrick Carpentier.
Anytime I see,
Again, as
you know,
documented in the
Budweiser,
pre-race show, we've been
the
talking about a
DEI
lot of the-
days,
the
like, just
free
automatically
agents that
assume
we
it's
had
Dale
this
Jr.
year, as the
It's not.
season comes to an end. Carl Edwards, one of those, but he just re-signed.
Like
a 3-year
2008 silly
contract
season had to have been
extension
like
with
the
Roush Fenway.
weirdest. 2007 into
Feeling that all
2008
do
silly
that. He
season.
He likes Jack. He likes being there. He loves Bob Osborne. It's
All
a
the open
perfect
wheel
place
guys
for him to
coming
be
in,
driving.
and
And when you're the number
you
one
know, big
rooster in
names
the
like Tony
henhouse,
Stewart on his
isn't
way out of
anything either.
JGR, Kyle
Place
Busch
to be.
in.
You notice a change in our Fox
Earnhardt
ticker
going
across
to
the top of the screen tonight. We have
HMS.
transitioned after some experimentation to using the
Kyle Busch
GPS
obviously leaving there.
transponders in the cars to give you real-time scoring, position, and intervals. So you'll
Casey
see
Mears
a lot of
one and done, and then
changes
Mark
like
Martin
that.
will be in that car the following
This is
season.
Sam Hornish for 34th. The scoring is real-time, but we stress it is unofficial.
Another thing that happened while we were away, Mark Martin got by.
You don't
his
see that
teammate
many Hall of Fame
Rich
drivers
Jr.
switching rides
Let
within
Mark in
a
that
2-season
eight car take
stretch
over the
like
second
that.
Position right now, about 2 seconds.
Like, even to this
behind
day,
Denny
like
Hamlin.
future Hall of
Now, a
Fame
lot like
drivers,
yesterday's
like, yeah, okay,
practice,
Kyle
that
Busch
eight car
left,
was
but
pretty good
that was
in the
it
long
last
run.
season. As far as the Hall of Famers, I mean, you don't know about, like, Tyler Reddick. They're so young yet.
You
know, he's got a whole career ahead of him yet.
On the bottom. Next time he rolls
4 wins in the calendar year, pretty good, though, I will say.
That's where he says
Good start to his
the
career.
strongest. He just needs to roll a little better to the center of the corner. But so far, and it shows in the stopwatch. That 8 car looks stronger.
Dave Blaney up to 14th. He passed Carl Edwards during the commercial.
Reed Sorensen in the 41.
Earnhardt's back at 16th. Carpentier's already 17th. 28 laps, 4th to 17th.
Got a little company from another red car.
I said I was interested to see how far he'd be able to keep it up there
Really
for
come in
him.
in a hurry.
It took him, what, like 14 laps? He's outside the top 10 already?
Casey Kane in the Bud car just gets around on the outside. Away he goes.
But I tell you what, right now we have two
Yeah, Mark drives the
Survivors
5 in
cars
09.
up in the top 8.
You are
Reed
correct.
Sorensen in the 41, Juan Pablo Montoya in the 42 that right now is
I do feel bad for Scott Riggs, though. He had the short end of the stick. He goes to MBM in the 66, which is what he's running. He was in that 10 car before they put Carpentier in it. Scott Riggs is, I think, personally an underrated driver.
Chris Devoda is in Montoya's pit.
I mean, yes, he was at Evernham, but if you look at the years he was there, though, even Casey Kane's stats started to decline. Jeremy Mayfield wasn't winning when Riggs was first over on that team. Then obviously Elliott Sadler never, really did anything with Evernham too.
I believe the personalities of Jimmy Elledge and Juan will work good, and I believe Donnie Wingo and Sorensen will work good. I really like what they did.
As much as we say about this being increasingly a technology-driven business, chemistry between people is still so important, thank goodness.
In the pressure to perform, there's no growing time. It's either there.
I forgot
or you
Yaley
have
drove
to
the
make a change.
96
We're
car.
seeing our leader now, Denny Hamlin. After 32 laps, he's already in traffic. Now his lap.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, obviously, he would have left
working on
JGR too.
JJ Yaley in that 96 car.
Not that he was one of the higher caliber drivers, but
What would make Denny Hamlin really, really happy, besides winning tonight, is really win big. And he's trying to do it. I mean, I think he would like to lap the field if he could.
He won big last night. On the final caution, leaders Kevin Harvick and Carl Edwards did not take tires. Hamlin did and stormed past the two of them to win it.
And the thing about it, Mike, and we've talked to Denny a lot.
Sterling Marlin drove the 09 car?
He and his family had
I do not
seats in
remember
the
that at all.
grandstands over in turn 4. He was a huge Bill Elliott fan.
He's looking at the
thing
driver
he drove,
lineup
he
on the
wanted to
top
put
of the
Bill Elliott's
screen.
number on it, and here he is leading this race out on the pole and won the nationwide race here last night.
5 years ago, they had inexpensive bleacher seats. Last night, he bought a suite for his folks to watch him win.
My, it is a beautiful world.
Sorensen's still in the top 5, 40 laps in.
Royal presents the Dan Lowry 400.
Yeah, I was going to put, usually I put the actual title sponsor in the name of the channel. If you just heard Mike Joyce say what it was, I'll rewind it a couple seconds
The
here.
man whose name
This is
maybe
why I
can
didn't
be
put it in. This is the long name
Here
for
he
it.
is leading this race
sound bites edited together of Gordon talking about
in the grandstands over in turn 4.
bleacher seats. Last night, he bought a suite for his folks to watch him win.
Yeah, when they come back from the break, this is the name of the race. Listen closely. It's very long.
40 laps complete in Richmond, and the Crown Royal presents the Dan Lowry 400. Lowry was a contest winner. Got to have the race named for
I was
him.
I was trying to figure out who Dan Lowry was the whole time. You just said something about a contest winner. I saw that when I was on Racing Reference earlier. I was like, who's Dan Lowry? Like, is it supposed to be a race car driver I'm supposed to know? Nope.
About the handling of his car.
Gordon's still in 36th.
When I go to the throttle tight, that snaps loose. You can get it to turn, get in. It's when I go to the throttle.
And what I hear in a driver's
You know, it's
voice,
crazy
either
when
man is
you see drivers of high caliber starting at the back of the field, or they have to drop to the rear at the start of the race. They're usually able to at least get themselves in the top half of the field like no time. I mean, like 10, 20 laps. 44 laps in, Jeff Gordon's still 36.
You got to fix first things first. Get that thing to turn through the middle. There's his crew chief, Steve Letarte, and you may actually calm that looseness down off the corner if you make it turn better.
He's 10th, and that guy behind him is 11th, and he's coming after him.
Jeff Gordon has not been happy with his car all weekend. Did not practice well.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking Marlin was
I talked to
retired
Steve
by now,
Letarte today,
honestly.
and my timing was terrible. I was sitting there talking to him about his car, and he said,
I don't know if he
"This
was
new
full-time
generation
at this
of Goodyear
point,
tire
though.
has thrown us such a curve." While I was talking to him, they tapped
Oh,
him in the
my
shoulder.
goodness.
He tried to
Well, turn the leader.
70, and Jeff Gordon got into the leader.
Trying to stay
Could you imagine?
Trying to stay on that lead
Trying to
lap.
stay on the lead lap, he just hooks the
Hamlin
leader.
was kind of boxed behind the
Hamlin's led every lap so
really
far.
cut
He's
Jeff off there.
definitely
I think
looking
he
like
figured
the
Jeff
dominant
slowed lap down,
car
give me some
early.
room, but Jeff said, no, I had no part of that.
Let's take another look at this and see who's trying to stay on the lead lap.
I couldn't tell if Gordon was coming off the corner and clipped him or what happened there.
And he's got a little bit of a hole right there, and he tries to squeeze over
Yeah, it did look like Denny kind of moved down in front of him. There was a lap car up on the outside. He was trying to get in front of Gordon. Yeah, that was on Hamlin. That wasn't on Gordon. Looked like Hamlin moved down to me.
Jeff Gordon didn't do anything wrong there. Denny Hamlin was just trying to squeeze down in a hole that wasn't quite there.
He
Larry Mack and DW think the same thing.
Get it better before the night's over.
Caution free through 46 laps. Denny Hamlin has led every one of them. He won the pole. He won last night. Trying to complete the weekend sweep here at his home racetrack.
Matt Kenseth's pretty deep in the field, too. He's 27. Jeff Burton, 26. There's a lot of big names back half the field. Burton was the points leader coming in.
In contact with the 11 car, in case a caution does come out, he get back on the lead lap.
Just to kind of finish that story, while I was talking to Steve Letarte and talking to him about the car, and he was telling me this tire has really thrown him a curve, that's when they tapped him on the shoulder and said, Steve, car won't crank. He looked at me and he said,
yeah, that is crazy, though.
But you know what, Larry?
I mean, no, I was going to say, it was like Larson from last year. But Larson still won 3 races last season, so I wouldn't go that far.
11th place for DaleJr.
That is pretty
Jr.
wild, though.
Passing Ryan Newman. Kristen.
Well, this is really of no surprise to us, Mike. I know the fans are excited. He started 20.
Goes to show every year is a new year.
Trying to work his way into the top 10.
You can assume drivers will be able to contend for what you would normally think they would, but I mean, just imagine how boring the sport would be, though, if every driver ran similar in points every single season from year to year to year to year. Never have a constant rotation of different championship contenders.
One of the things that I think Junior is really working hard on, Larry, and he talked to us.
I mean, sure, Jimmy Johnson won 5 championships in a row in this era of NASCAR, but it wasn't like nobody else was competing for it throughout the course of the season, or it wasn't the same guys competing for it every year. In 2007, you had Jeff Gordon having obviously that great season.
He said, I want to be able to talk to him.
Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick were beaten down to the wire in 2010. Mark Martin in 09.
Maybe I'm talking about some land or property he bought. He said, I still want to be me, but maybe I need to be just a little easier. But he said, you know what? I can't wait during practice.
There's always different drivers that were competing with him.
To him one-on-one where people can't hear
that
what we're
tenure.
saying.
There's Tony Jr., who is DaleJr. Jr.'s cousin.
Oh, yeah.
When you grow
Yeah,
up
that
with
Vegas
somebody
crush
with family, you
definitely
get pretty
didn't help
plain
for him.
spoken, and you're right.
I mean, definitely ended his career shorter, considering he was still winning races at the very end of his career.
Earnhardt and Yuri. I mean, you know.
He had more left in the tank, but I think
That'd be good.
Third place, Martin Truex. Casey
the pain
Kane
tolerance
has
just
been
wasn't
going,
there as he was aging.
and he may become the new third-place car here in a lap or two. They're about 4 seconds off the lead.
You know, I was talking about how well the 48 car looked yesterday in practice. He made a little bit of a move to the front. That Matt Yoakum, he has actually fallen back just a little
Who knows,
bit.
maybe he could have had 100 wins if he didn't get in that Vegas crash.
15 laps ago, and Chad Canals told him to go ahead and dial some rear brake back into the car.
We don't know that for sure, obviously. Isn't that kind of the same thing with Jimmy Johnson's Pocono crash in 2017? He won like 3 races that year, crashed hard, and never won again. I don't know if he had any injuries from the fall out of that other than knocking the wind out of him, I remember.
Goes Casey Kane driving by Martin Truex Jr. in that one car. This 9
Tony
car
won the
that was
championship in
getting
08.
better as it goes into this long run.
I mean, you can say what you want about, you know, the
See what happens to
like who probably should have won it that year if they had a season-long points format.
You get off the gas
But
and it's kind of correct itself. You don't
I
have a whole lot to
don't
do with it.
You know, just the
That
first
wasn't
period of
actually
that
how the
48
points
car,
were
the
dictated.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series car really
They wouldn't have
doesn't
raced
any
the same
adjustments that
way.
the driver can make from inside
I
the
mean,
cockpit,
there's some
except
races I'm sure that
for
probably would have
adjusting
played out
rear
the same,
brake
but there's
bias,
definitely
some
other
things
races
not
that might
turning.
not
So
have.
what Chad Canals is telling
If certain
you
drivers
is
were in
rear
championship
brake
contention like later in the season,
Denny Hamlin
in the
trying
full
to
season points format, maybe they would have tried a little harder.
31st place car.
Could have contended versus in the chase format. They weren't in contention, so I mean, season stats would be kind of fluctuated quite a bit. I think most of the regular season would pretty much be about the same.
The Great American Lager. 64 laps complete, no change in the top 7. Tony
In this
Stewart
era.
has moved into 8th as caution waves for the first time.
Now it might be a little bit
Johnny
different
Sauter.
because now it's a win and you're in format, so I wouldn't necessarily say that the regular season champion every year would under a Winston Cup points format or something of that nature. would
One thing that can cause tire problems here,
be
you create
exactly
so
the
much
same
brake
transfer
heat,
over.
you can actually cook the bead
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
that right
tire.
front
You can see
blue.
right there,
That's a pretty
turn
hard
forward,
hit, too.
tire went
He
soft,
pancaked it.
Couldn't even think about turning that car.
Yeah,
Who's in the
the
70?
camber that they run, which is the
I wasn't paying
power lead
attention.
at the top. You can wear the inside of a tire.
Didn't Andy
out.
Lally used to drive the 70 at
brake
one
heat,
point?
number of things.
That's got to look like
that
deja
Lally?
vu all over again. Was it 2 or 3 years here when Johnny Sauter took that same long ride from the apex of turn 3 and slammed the wall hard? And
Should have been
knocked his
Edwards.
car
I don't know why you
that
said
time
Tony.
with
I
the
was
new
just
car.
honestly
driving that back to the pits, and fixing it up
don't
to race
remember
again.
exactly how Tony ran this
You got a
season.
NASCAR question anytime, anything you want to know pops into your mind, we've got the answer for you. Ask the Pros, built by the Home Depot on FoxSports.com. And a growing list of experts are there
Johnny Sauter.
24/7 to answer your questions. And you'll hear
They mentioned they name dropped Johnny
FoxSports.com/Ask
Sauter. I didn't
the
think that was him,
Pros.
though.
You know, she's going to be busy on pit road. We got 30 cars on the lead lap.
I never remember
Guarantee
Johnny
all
Sauter
30
in the
will
Cup
be
Series
there
after he
for
drove the
4
30
tires and
AOL
probably
car,
several
honestly.
adjustments.
Kind of forgot he was still in the Cup
Dale
Series.
Jr. says he's tight in the center, free in and free off.
After
he
those
rates
days.
his free condition about a 3. Matt Yoakum.
Mark Martin's car was tight, but it started to go a little more to the loose side, so he backed off on this big change they were expecting just a half a round. To Steve.
Matt Denny Hamlin told Mike Ford really helped me off the corners. So they've dropped air pressure in the rear tires, and they're going to raise the track bar. Casey Kane, meanwhile, in the 9 car.
Denny's pit crew's on it, too. Mark Martin having a pretty solid run. He was pretty good on the short tracks with DEI.
Brian Vickers will get the free pass.
He was really good at Phoenix.
Onto the lead lap as you look at the DirecTV race off pit road.
I see exactly where Dave Blaney came out. Thought he had a decent stop.
The way he's going right now, it's going to be tough, but you can't give up positions.
Keep him
on
in the
pit
top
road
20.
in this race.
That's all I ask.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By Napa Auto Parts. Napa, get the good stuff. By Gillette, feel phenomenal with Gillette Fusion Power Phenom, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns. And by Allstate. Are you in good hands? 70 laps complete. Denny Hamlin, your leader in Richmond, as we're ready for our clear to drive restart.
These guys are flying on the inside.
One more lap as they have waved off the restart to get everybody in line. There will be 31 cars on the lead lap when they come by.
Oh, yeah, they still had
And the
single file
outside lane
restarts at
to
this
take
time.
the green.
Wasn't it 2009
Produces
they adopted
some
that?
interesting images.
It was like middle of the season, too. I thought it was at like Chicagoland or
First,
something
Denny
in the
Hamlin
summer.
watched the right front of his car as the
They
wheel
went to
comes
double
on.
file restarts.
Yeah, this is when you'll get the most brake dust on that first.
I'm pretty
time
sure
in,
it was
because
09
the pads
Chicagoland,
are all
'cause
new,
didn't Mark
everything's
Martin win
brand
that
new.
race?
You're going to shave
I think it was the weekend after
your
Daytona.
brake pad on the initial run.
But besides watching the rotors glow,
A week after
the
oh,
crew
he's
chief
mirror
will look
driving.
and see how much dust
Oh,
hits
he
the
turned
road,
it.
and he'll kind of give that driver
Oh,
a judge.
no.
And he may even have that tire changer about 200 or 300 laps into this race. Just take a quick peek at those brake pads, making sure you got enough to get to the end.
New face in the top 5 is Elliott Sadler. In the number 19, he has moved up to 5th on the pit exchange.
Yeah, he was hanging around the top 10 there, so that's a good.
Mark
stop for
Martin
those
probably.
guys.
I mean, that's possible. It depends, though, because with how drivers seem to race now, especially on the short tracks, if it's a late race restart situation, Mark Martin will get pushed around. So, I mean, if it's like last year's Richmond races where we have longer green flag runs all the way to the finish, then yeah, maybe he'll fare well. They're doing a crank it up? Yeah, here we go. I remember when they used to do this every week. We're 6 races into the NASCAR season this year, and there's been 2 races they haven't done it. They didn't do it at Coda last week, and they didn't do it at Phoenix also. I mean, they had plenty of time to do it both races, too. There were some long green flag runs in both of them. We didn't have breeding cautions at Coda until the very end. Elliott Sadler's in 5th. I think Sorensen lost a lot of spots up. Yeah, I was gonna say he lost a lot of spots on pit road because he was, I think, like 5th or 6th still when the caution came out. Now he's back in 9th. David Rudiman still camping just outside the top 10. Dave Blaney's 14th still. I thought he had a decent stop. I think he gained a couple because he fell back to like 16th or 17th before the caution. Jimmy Johnson's not looking that great in this race too. He's been outside the top 10 most of the day. Roush isn't doing too good in this race, and Hendrick isn't doing too good in this race right now. Jeff Gordon's a lap down already. Jimmy Johnson's outside, or almost outside the top 20. Kenseth and Biffle have been outside the top 15 the whole race. Oh, already got the back of Elliott there. Yeah, Kenseth's 31st right now. Luke Lotus, thanks for tuning in. Did it at Phoenix with 20 to go. I thought that was at Vegas where they did it with 20 to go.
When you feel that vibration in the pedal, a lot of times that vibration will knock the pads away from the rotor. So when you first initially go to the brake, you won't have much pedal. You got to hit it a lick. You got to hit it a lick to get the pads pushed out.
I was thinking it was Vegas because wasn't there a battle? Maybe I'm thinking of a different. I was thinking it was Vegas. I thought there was 2 races they didn't do it in. It's weird too because with the truck in the Xfinity Series they don't do it every week either.
Gives cars run first, third, and 10th. Kyle Busch on the last pit stop. They made air pressure adjustments. They made a wedge adjustment. Similar condition for his teammate Tony Stewart. They just needed to be freed up in the middle.
Hey, Steve, everything's gone right for Denny Hamlin lately. How's his golf game?
Well, Mike Christovoda told me last week, when you're hot, you're hot. Denny Hamlin had a hole-in-one.
What?
On a course at the Peninsula back in Cornelius, North Carolina, and he says he has witnesses.
He has been on a roll this week.
And Hamlin said he had witnesses to his hole-in-one. Just to prove it was real.
One on a par 3, and he's led every lap tonight.
Yeah, well, he's setting up for another one here tonight. I can tell you that. That car is awesome, man. That thing is pulling away from everybody except...
Denny Hamlin had a hole-in-one in golf in 2008.
He's keeping him in striking distance.
Week of the Richmond Spring Race.
Riding with, I think he's going to be a player here before too long. He just drove by Kevin Harvick in the 29. We're riding with Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. Started back in 22nd position. This is a battle for 6th that we're watching right now.
Johnny Sauter's still in the race even after hitting the wall as hard as he did. 2 laps down.
We've documented Jeff Gordon's woes. He made a stop under this caution, trying to make that car better. Dick, what did they do?
Almost nothing, Mike. Gordon said that the car is still snapping loose. The big problem is that it's tight, and then the back end tries to come around when he gets on the gas.
Oh, that's tight. Very tight. No, Dale. Oh. I don't know why I thought he was going to take it 4 wide for a second. He had a run, he pulled out a line. Oh, he slipped.
And he's in the free pass position.
Still clear to 43.
He definitely helped that car from where it started, but he's not back in that heavy traffic now.
Well, let's hear what Jeff Gordon's saying about that car now.
David Reagan's 20th too. Where's Edwards at? Is he still outside the top 10? Means all 4 Roush cars are outside the top 10 right now if that's the case.
You're doing good. I know it's not good, man. Just keep taking care of it.
And McMurray. Where's McMurray at?
That was during the caution.
Man, McMurray's 29 too. Jeez Louise. Roush Fenway's still good at this time too. They're not good tonight. I think all 5 of them are outside of the top 10.
And why is Jeff Gordon such a story? He won the pole here last year for this race, but this week has his worst start at Richmond ever.
But I just believe what Steve Letarte, who we just heard, being a cheerleader to Jeff Gordon, I think
Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in.
Absolute truth. Go back to Phoenix. Jeff Gordon won Phoenix there last year, and he was not that good when we were there. You heard Matt Yoakum earlier say, same tire combination we ran at Phoenix. I just don't think they can give him a feel right now that he's looking for with this generation of Goodyear race tires. You know, Mike, you talked about...
I mean, DEI's got 2 cars in the top 5 right now with Martin and Truex.
That 70 car, they're still out there, only 2 laps down. In fact, running
2 Evernham cars are in the top 10.
Of course, Denny's running him down now.
Carpante even qualified really well. He just has raced
you can
good.
hit the wall like that. Come to pit
Oh,
road,
Sadler. What
right
happened to
down
Elliott
the
Sadler?
and you're back out on the racetrack.
He was in the top 5 on the restart. He was in 5th. Now he's back at 17th. I didn't even see what happened to him. I don't think Fox did either.
At lap 72, Elliott Sadler was the 4th
Oh.
place car. They picked up a lot of spots on pit road, perhaps by changing just 2 tires.
Oh,
Sadler is now
2-tire stop. Never
Whatever
mind.
change they made to get him track position, he's just fallen to 17.
That explains it. I was just thinking, what happened here? Mike Joy answered my question.
DW just checked with the team.
Oh,
the
Mike.
problem with Elliott Sadler was somebody else.
By the way, for DEI right now, Paul Menard's in 34th. Paul Menard's in 34th. The other 2 cars for that team are in the top 5.
I can't imagine those guys. They had to have changed 4 tires. If you've been watching, you want 4 tires every chance you get.
At the front of the field, the Richmond area fans, and there are lots of them here, have had plenty to cheer about. Their boy, Danny Hamlin, has led every lap so far.
Only Virginia still like Danny Hamlin. That driver lineup, though, if they could have sustained that driver lineup for a long time. I mean, I know JGR was dominant in the mid-2000s with their driver lineup, but
so far, Kyle Busch in third.
just knowing what Denny Hamlin came out to be, obviously Kyle Busch raced there for a long time, but Tony would have, like, if he would have stuck it out, then they picked up Carl Edwards along the way, oh my goodness.
Still 31 cars on the lead lap. Let's look at the biggest movers.
Makes you wonder where Matt Kenseth would have went, though. Tony had stayed there all those years. Joey Logano wouldn't have. Actually, Logano probably would have moved up in a 4th car. Then once he was on his way out, they probably would have picked up Kenseth still, if I had to guess. But then Edwards, where would he have gone? Would he have retired after he left Roush instead of retiring just after a couple years with Gibbs? Who knows? Probably not, but you never know.
I knew even when we saw that 07 car qualify.
That's a very underrated Clint Boyer paint scheme, by the way, that BBT car.
He finished 9th at Talladega. That was his 6th consecutive top 10 finish.
Similar scheme to that when he had that sponsor with 33 also.
Tell you one thing, Larry, been watching these cars, watching our monitor, our lap times here, and a guy that is really
Michael Turner, Mike George, thanks for tuning in.
On the screen, a 29 car, Kevin Harvick. He's been
already 100 laps in.
Than even our leader.
Right before their stop, that they needed to make a big swing and adjustments because the car was so loose as soon as they even touched the throttle. It was spinning out sideways loose. They made a number of changes, and it has really come to life. He is moving toward the front, and one of the goers would be the one of Martin Truex Jr. More issues with his brake pedal. He said it's
Dale Jr. is the only Hendrick car that's even doing anything remotely good today, too, and he wasn't that great off the start. I think they made the right adjustment changes with that caution, that first pit stop, because he's picked up a lot of ground since the restart.
Remember, impound race, they had to qualify what they were going to race, and I'm sure
Yeah, Carl Edwards in 12th is the highest running Roush driver right now.
Yeah, and I said earlier.
And outside of Dale Jr., the other 3 Hendrick cars are 19th on back.
Jeff Burton's a great racer, and he always able to pull out a good finish, but you cannot qualify at the back every week and get up through there like he has. Been very, very fortunate. That's going to bite him before it's over with.
And right now, he's only about 7 seconds in front of leader Denny Hamlin, who has led all 104 laps of this thing so far.
And there he is, and Larry, I mean, he's obviously not all that comfortable with his car. You see him really jerking.
JGR at a 4th car, 2015. Yeah, I know that was the case. I was just stating if they kept Tony Stewart, if they were able to keep him, if Tony wasn't going off. They had that merger with Haas in 2009. If they somehow could have kept him, what that driver lineup could have looked like. They maybe wouldn't have rushed Joey Logano up to Cup, too. With that being the case, maybe he wouldn't have been as bad with Gibbs if he had a couple extra years in the Xfinity Series full time. And Stenhouse wouldn't have ended up winning a couple titles in the Xfinity Series.
They've got a good pit position from which to make up some time if they get a chance.
There's no substitute for pitting toward the exit side of pit road, because when you complete that
Just amazing, like each detail, what leads into another driver's success or lack thereof, or at least their first, breakthrough. With all these roster moves every year.
Was able to pick the first pit every week. That really was a big advantage, particularly when we get to tracks like this.
I was not a fan of that rule, and I remember doing a race
Ken's
with you
not
and
having a
asking
good
you
run at
about
all.
it. You think it's, and you said, I think it's a great rule.
Pontier
And I
fell
looked at
from
you,
4th
and
to
you went,
28th.
If you're the champion.
You're the champion.
David Reagan and Jimmy Johnson. Boy, Reagan has been a great.
Curious to know if Jeff Gordon's going to end up rallying for any sort of decent finish.
This season, and
His first car lap down right now, but
pretty much all weekend going into
he's
tonight's
going to need a
race.
caution before a long green flag run to get his lap back,
The
though.
fastest
Get
Ford
the
all
free
weekend
pass.
long. Had a top 5 run down there and has quietly moved into 15th in the Sprint Cup Series points with this 6 car.
And it's like some of these drivers, it's like a switch is flipped. But it's two things. The driver gets better, but the team gets better of giving the driver what he needs so he can do his job.
109 laps complete at the former Richmond Fairgrounds Raceway, now Richmond International. Denny Hamlin has led every lap, but it's a long way to go in Richmond.
Harvick's kind of slowly on the move, too.
Come on, down in front. That's right, man. I am in front. More NASCAR on Fox coming up next.
NASCAR on Fox. Denny Hamlin has led all the way, 118 laps in, 282 to go here. Time for an AT&T race break, and Hamlin in all 5 of his career Richmond Cup races, he has led. In fact, this is the 4th time, or 4 different times, he's led more than 100 laps in his career. He's only won 1 of those races. But Jeff Hammond, how about the pace of this race so far? Just 1 caution.
It is wicked fast. I mean, right now I'm really surprised. These guys are playing awful nice as far as a short track race at this point. And basically, Denny Hamlin is having his way with this field at the present time. But he's got to make sure he doesn't get complacent and not keep up with this racetrack. Otherwise, take for example his teammate Kyle Busch. He knows what Denny's got in his car. He knows what's going on, and he'll also know what kind of adjustments they're making, and they can get a little more aggressive if they need to, so they can run him down.
Kyle Busch currently running 3rd. Mark Martin in between the 2 Joe Gibbs Toyotas. Steve Burns telling us moments ago about Kyle Busch's transmission, about, hey, I'm stalled where I am. I'm going to try a different place on the track.
Well, it's a great thing about Richmond. You can move around.
Always like that
You can
pedigree
run
paint
over,
scheme
run
for
through the
Kyle
middle.
Busch,
You can
too.
run high. You can try a lot of different
Even some of the
lines.
Elliott Sadler.
You
I actually
can
haven't
figure out
Elliott
where you can
Sadler
get a
pedigree
little
paint
bit
scheme.
of
Just
release
kind of
on the
forgot
throttle
about that
that
just
you're
now.
having. So right now,
As a little kid, I always like seeing the
go
dogs
back
on
to
the quarter
bottom.
panel of the
Here's
race
a guy
car.
that's starting to drop like a rock. Early on, it looked like Jimmy Johnson was going to have a good solid run tonight, but he's presently 27th. But he's not the
Got just over
left
20 people
fender.
watching.
He got
Appreciate
to
everybody
looks
tuning
like
in here on this Thursday night, Throwback Thursday on the channel.
Watching here,
Oh boy, that was a lot of contact. Jimmy about turned him.
and it not
Well, it wasn't
left
Jimmy's
front
fault. It
fender
looked
in
like
and not so much
38
in
pulled
front
up
of
a
the
little
area, but
early.
he's definitely got a fender rub.
Kurt Busch got
That's
into
not
him.
a good thing. You keep watching it. Again, that's annoying. It could be upsetting the race car.
Jimmy Johnson, who swept the races last year in Richmond,
Tire
winning
up for
both,
Jimmy.
currently 27th. You were watching on board through the AT&T car of the points leader Jeff Burton of the damage
That's a pretty
caused
decent
to Jimmy Johnson.
bash
Here are
into
the
that left
top
front
4
fender.
car numbers picked by our viewers to win today's race. You can watch our pre-race coverage each week to play. Remember, next Saturday night we'll be in Darlington. Those are the numbers for now. Again, Denny Hamlin.
Pick to win tonight's race. Look at that. Look at the bias down here. Dale Jr. probably won this every week. Every week he was in it.
Rejoin Darrell, Larry, and Mike. Thanks, Chris. One more lap.
Who do you
and
think
we're
is
at
going to
the
win
quarter
tonight's
pole of
race?
This race. Actually, we're past it. We're 124 now.
I've noticed every week I do the polls for the live commentary streams.
You know, last night's race
If Kyle Busch is racing in the Truck or Xfinity Series, he always wins. And then if he's ever in the Cup Series, it's usually a closer poll. But more often than not, Kyle Busch is winning the
You get
polls.
aggravated with your car, you get aggravated with your crew, you get aggravated.
I leave those open all the way to the end of stage 2 if I do them during the race too. If Kyle Busch is ever in there, he's always winning it, even if he's like 8th.
Within 1/10 of a second of running the same speed. When he said,
I'm sure Chase Elliott would probably win it all the time too. I just haven't been able to do it because he's been out for a while.
A car that missed the show was less than
Busch is kind of
5/10
filling
of a
that
second
void, I
slower
guess.
than Denny Hamlin that sat on the pole. So it's been very close and tight here all weekend long. We talked about Patrick Compartier. Darrell talked to him under the pace laps. Qualified 4th right now. He's about to fall under the clutches of our leader Denny Hamlin. So
That's what we
when he
should
puts
call
the
him.
10-car lap down,
Carpartier.
we will have 27 cars on the lead lap. And look at that next car he's zeroing in, that 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
Heartbroken parts of his.
Hole-in-one Hamlin's evening so far.
Mike, his crew chief Mike Ford just said, Denny, tell me about your race car before you get into traffic. And he said, I
Caution.
4. Caution is out.
Got a yeller.
Debris on the back straightaway.
I want to see it.
Under caution for the second time tonight.
I want to
That
see
is
it.
A huge break.
Where's the debris?
Jimmy Johnson.
Where is it?
Elliott Sadler and Michael
Where's the
Waltrip
debris?
were right in front of the race leader.
Oh,
And
this?
it completely just killed Jeff
Is that
Gordon
rubber?
because Jeff Gordon fell right in
Look at
line
how
there
small that
behind
looks.
A lot of those top cars, but getting into this long run, Denny Hamlin just
I mean,
kept
I'll
putting
take
more
NASCAR's
cars
word
on
for it.
down,
I guess there's
and Jeff
something
Gordon now was
there,
the fourth
but
or fifth car in line to get the free pass.
how small this is. How'd they even see that?
This pit stop, make the improvement.
How did they
on the
possibly
first one,
see
he
that?
might be able to get that lap back.
The camera was zoomed in on it. It looked like it was a bigger piece than what it was.
He will receive the free pass. And they're on pit road, Krista.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. wanting some bite out of the left rear. Tony Earnhardt Jr.'s call 1 round out. Dale Jr. also wants the air pressure adjusted. That's the call for the 88. Matt.
Mark Martin stopped short in his box. They're going to make another chassis adjustment to try to help his car through the center of the corner. Meanwhile, the big gain on that run was Kevin Harvick. No chassis adjustments for the 29, Steve.
Matt, when the caution came out, Denny Hamlin said it's just now starting to get a little bit snug, so they're going to make air pressure adjustments and go up on the track bar. Mike?
Oh, close to race out of the pits. Hamlin still won it, though.
He does. He keeps the lead.
I think Mark Martin, Tony Gibbs, and the 8 car, they had a better pit stop at that pit selection.
I was about to say the
That's
same
what won
thing,
that
too.
round.
If it wasn't for having that #1 box, I think Mark would have probably won the race out of the
Race
pits.
off pit road. A little gain there for Boyer and Newman. Close, but Hamlin keeps the lead.
Harvick up to 3rd. He gained a spot on Busch.
132 laps complete. Fields in turn 3. Ready to go green with our clear to drive. Restart, get clear and clear. Get back to feeling like yourself again. Denny Hamlin, Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Dale Jr. will bring them to the green.
I think we're going to see some action now. I think that 29 and that 88 both are pretty darn good.
I think Gordon got the free pass with that
Huge
caution.
break for Jimmy Johnson, 48 car. I think Chad Knaus decided to make a big swing. He brought that 48 car back to pit road a couple of times. A lot of major adjustments here on this second caution.
Major adjustments or cheating, Chad? You know your gimmicks.
When your car's like Hamlin's, better than everybody else, last thing you want is a caution flag. When you're trying to catch somebody like this, you wish they had one about every 25 or 30 laps.
Matt Kenseth must have had a really good pit stop because he's up to 15th now. That is tight. Oh boy, a little contact.
Between the 88 and the 1, you've got
Rudiman and Vickers, and
position.
Vickers
What you
was
have
not
at the
happy
top,
about it,
you've
I
got
don't
a
think.
battle trying to be that first car.
Oh, Vickers, what are you doing? That was Brian Vickers. He crowded him all the way down the front stretch, and then by the time they got into the corner, he was still on his door.
Track racing is you can do that. You can give a guy a wheel and move him over without either car wrecking, and you go on to race again another lap.
That was all on Vickers there.
Well, the thing about turn 1 here, it's like a funnel.
If they show the replay of that, you'll kind of see that he was... They made contact off of turn 4 when they were 3 wide. I think Vickers didn't like the contact initially, and he was crowding him all the way down the front stretch. By the time they got into turn 1, he just kind of pinched him off. Rudiman didn't back out of it. Up the hill went the 83.
In the 24, who wants to get up there and be the first car lap
Oh,
down?
Gordon is still lap down. He didn't even get the free pass in.
Well, Jeff Gordon says that the car is a lot better than it was at the
Oh, Michael
beginning
McDowell's
of
in the 00. My
It is
bad, not
still
Rudiman.
very tight
Rudiman's in the
when
44.
The right front drops down on the bump stop. That basically takes the suspension out of the right front corner of the car. Crew Chief Steve Letarte all night long has been encouraging his driver, telling him that they're going to get it, they're going to get the car better. What they really need to do, and they do understand this, is to become the first car 1 lap down, and it looks real good for that right now.
Problem is... Oh, there it is.
Montoya.
Ah, Montoya.
And caution waves.
Come on, boys. Got to that front down and see if you can get it fired up. You're still good. Leader's getting into 1.
Caution for the third
Good
time tonight.
turnaround.
Yeah,
A
left
lot of
rear is
damage.
down.
Left front tire is down. Remember, after finishing second at Talladega last week, Montoya
Left front looks
moved
like it's
into the
down,
top
too.
12 in points.
Might have been after hitting the wall, though.
Cut it down.
Look on the right side of your screen from the Goodyear blimp. He's next to J.J. Yaley there.
All
The
right.
96.
Oh, that tire was already
He just got
down.
loose and lost
Yeah,
it
I don't think
there.
that. I think that left front went down when he did that right there.
Denny Hamlin. Hamlin has led every lap so far.
I don't know. I
Caution
wonder
is
if the
out
left
for the
rear was
third
down
time
already.
tonight.
Considering they were just after restart, wouldn't surprise me if he had contact further back in the pack that cut the tire down.
Sponsored by the Ford F-150. Built Ford tough. By Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. By Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart Formula. Build a healthier lawn using less water.
Mechanism.
And by Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coke taste and 0 calories. On the last pit stop under caution, one crewman got upended.
Oh, no.
It happened when fourth place Reed Sorensen was leading fifth place Tony Stewart into the pits from the DirecTV Hot Pass cam.
Look out.
Jason Lee, Tony's jackman, went.
That could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Tony is to Reed coming in.
That actually was kind of a graceful fall off
And
the
that's
hood. He
the
kind of
reason
caught himself
Jason
on one
Lee
leg.
couldn't go out there because
Jack
the
didn't roll
41
too
was
far
coming
away.
in, and there just wasn't any room for him to run across the front of the car.
And because Sorensen short pitted right at the back of his pit, you'll see when Tony pulls out here, there's not a lot of room
Ooh.
either.
But you don't think these guys are athletes? He never checked up with that jack, getting the right side and then the left side of that car.
Dangerous job for those
Hey,
guys.
Tony
man.
told the 41 to move up a little bit next time, please.
If you don't, I'll move you up.
Please.
Bobby Labonte's been into the wall in the Speed Racer Petty car, and Jeff Gordon gets the free pass. He was the first car one lap down when Montoya
Oh, Gordon back on the lead lap.
into the wall.
This is becoming a recurring theme where every Throwback Thursday race we seem to watch, no matter what year it is, Jeff Gordon struggles. This is this is just odd.
Cools air as far as the onboard air conditioning is concerned.
He did that with the 98 Vegas race. Auto Club, he did that with
24 to 35 degrees.
from 2013.
Inside this unit is
We watched the 92 Hooters 500, so he, I mean, technically he struggled there because he DNF'd. Even though it was his first career race, he still DNF'd. What other race have we watched recently? Riverside, so obviously he wasn't in that one, 1988.
But it's also fresher air. 75% carbon dioxide.
So on a technicality, this is the fourth race in a row we've watched that Jeff Gordon is in on the Throwback Thursday, that he is at least in the race, and he has struggled every single time. I don't think he's finished better than 15th. He hasn't ran that well throughout the race either.
See that cool box behind his seat?
I'm curious. I don't even know what races I'm going to have in the poll next week, but I'm kind of curious to see if Jeff Gordon ends up running poorly again. I think Martinsville's next week, if I'm not mistaken.
And I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
And we need to mention it only been 5 laps since we restarted. We had a lot of guys at the back of the field come in, make more adjustments like Casey Mears, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Waltrip, Elliott Sadler, Jeff Gordon, who got the free pass, Jamie McMurray, and Juan Pablo Montoya in the 42 that brought the caution down.
Gordon's pretty good at Martinsville, so I'd imagine we're going to end up watching a race where he's at least running well.
And there's a Speed Racer.
Although we don't know that for sure yet.
On that spot, there's Bobby Labonte. The movie comes out next week.
Yeah, they're swinging for the fence every pit stop right now with that 48 car, but I will guarantee you they will get it where it needs to be.
Listen, Kyle Busch last night went a lap down early. I would have said that there's no way he'll finish the top 20. Came back and fought for a win right at the end.
It's the third digger cam of the race.
Digger, it's calm now. But you
Sound
better get
effect,
back
too.
in your hole.
I love Digger.
Okay, that was like a Tom and Jerry sound effect. Give credit to Martin Truex Jr. He's been in the top 5 the whole race. I think he's 6th right now. He lost a couple spots at pit road. Well, no, he would have lost him before that. I think he was running about 6th. That last caution came out.
All ever since about 15 laps into this race, past his teammate Martin Truex. He's been second all night long.
And you know what, Mike? I think I talked about this at Phoenix. That guy he's chasing, when Mark Martin started his Sprint Cup Series career, Denny Hamlin was 5 months old. The kid chasing Mark Martin, Kyle Busch.
Next week is Easter, so Dirt Bristol will be next. I think you're talking about the following week. I think Easter is the following weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think Easter's the weekend before I go to Talladega, which would be the weekend of the 22nd. I want to say the weekend of the 16th. I'm not sure exactly what day of the week. Easter falls on, but I think the weekend of the 16th.
See how fast these guys are bailing off
It's
into
supposed to be
turn one,
Easter.
Larry.
So I think they go to Martinsville, then Bristol, then Talladega,
About 140
and then
miles,
Kansas,
46
I
mile an
believe.
hour on a little track like this, down
Actually,
the
Mother's Day
in the middle
weekend.
of
No,
the
that's
corner.
Darlington.
You can see how they really
But
have to
I
play
think
with the
they'll
throttle.
still be
They're
in
well up on the
April.
straightaway before they can get
Dover?
100% with that throttle.
Here comes
I honestly can't remember the schedule. After Talladega, I can't rember. I do definitely know that Martinsville is after Richmond, then Dirt Bristol, then Talladega.
Big, long, sweeping front straightaway.
Oh boy.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. right
Busch got
now, I think
loose.
He's faster than both of these race cars. He just was boxed in.
He just took the bone away from that dog. I know that.
Dog another bone.
Somebody yanked up on the leash. That dog got sideways.
I don't know if he's been leash trained or not.
You know, we well documented it in the pre-race show. This is the second anniversary, not one that he wants to be celebrating since Dale Earnhardt Jr. last went to Victory Lane 71 races ago when he was driving for DEI.
You thought this winless streak was long. Just wait.
That's Carl Edwards in the 99.
Poor Junior fans.
The winningest driver on the tour so far this year, up against the 12, the Daytona 500.
April 9th is Easter?
Well, you give he and Bob Osborne
What?
a couple of cautions, little input from a driver.
I need to see this.
Might just get in the hunt here.
And Bob Osborne,
This year?
his crew chief, back after a 6-week suspension after the all-tank lid situation at Las
Oh, it
Vegas,
is.
back on top of the pit box for the first time since Las Vegas.
I love Bob Osborne. You know,
My bad.
Kind of guys, everybody going around. We got a fire. Bob says, somebody get a fire.
I don't know why I was thinking it was the 16th.
On Fox Saturday Baseball next week, leading into our race Saturday night under the lights in Darlington.
I'm supposed to have
South
plans on
Carolina.
Saturday
Oh,
before
got-
Easter.
The Lady in Black has some new asphalt. Boy, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got
And I was thinking it was the 15th for some reason. I'll have to get that situated later.
Boy, that was a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
See
right.
this again.
Brian Mitchell, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, my bad on that. I was thinking Easter was the following weekend.
Didn't have it.
Wow.
Didn't have a thing to do with it. The car just got bad sideways, loose.
He had his
Big
hands
moment
full.
for
I
Dale
think
Earnhardt
the-
Jr.
I think the hand spoke for himself.
That's a great save. The fact he didn't even touch the wall, as far sideways as he was, let alone not spinning out. Lost a couple spots.
Darryl, how many laps does it take you to get your rhythm back when something like that happens?
Depends on how old you are.
Good answer.
Yeah, he only lost 2 spots. He's
Kyle
back
Busch.
in 7th.
He never even
He
noticed.
may have gained positions.
Denny Hamlin is wearing them out here in Richmond.
He still led every lap.
You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Hamlin has led them all.
I like the way this one's looking. Stay tuned to NASCAR on Fox.
The one place that Dan Lowry has not visited tonight is the Goodyear Blimp. They provide our aerial coverage for track-tested technology. Get there on Goodyear Innovation. Dan won a
Driving to
contest
Richmond Wednesday,
for
headed
the
to North
naming rights to
Carolina after the
and,
races are
now
over.
he's
Well, enjoy
visiting
your
our
weekend, man.
construction truck. Hope he's having a good time tonight watching Denny Hamlin so dominate this race. We talked during the break amongst ourselves. Perhaps this car is a 1/10 of a second faster than Mark Martin and everybody else. And perhaps Denny, motivated to win just a few miles from where he grew up, is worth another 10th.
Well, they said Coach Joe Gibbs is on the cruise. So's his boys.
Yes, they are.
Cruise control.
Yeah, they're on
Right
cruise
now,
control.
Kyle Busch is 3rd.
Craig Biffle's
and Tony
gained a few
Stewart
spots.
is
He's
just
up to
inside
12th.
the top 10 in that
Tenzon's up to
20 car
17th. He was right around like 25th to 30th most of the race.
Boyer.
Jeff Gordon's somewhat on the move, finally, up to 18th. Dave Blaney has fallen back. He was 14th at one point. He's back in 22nd. David Ruderman was as high as 12. He's back in 23rd.
29 and 07.
Reed Sorensen, who was in the top 5 for about the first 50 laps of the race, is back in 26th.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has recovered from getting loose.
Sadler's lost a lot of track position. Ponte had qualified for.
Martin Truex Jr. and Casey
At least they're all in the
Kane.
lead
He's just gonna
laps
drive
still.
underneath Kevin Harvick going into turn 1.
I think Carpentier was a lap down. I think he got the free pass during the first yellow, and then Gordon got it during that second one.
You do a lot more taking later.
Third one, my bad. There's been 3 cautions, I believe.
There'll be just a very short few magic words here, not too long.
Was that debris yellow, then there was a spin on the restart after that.
That's when they'll reach
And that first caution was Johnny Sauter blowing right front. A little less, right around 70 laps in, I think it was.
Martin has been second just about the entire
And Hamlin's
race.
crews won the race out of the pits every time,
Truex
too.
and Clint Boyer just out of the top 5.
You don't really, I won't say you pace yourself. Certainly, if you're Denny Hamlin,
Long
he's
race,
up
though.
there in,
Long
like
races.
we said, in cruise control.
It's crazy how many times you see drivers get off to a good start that can't keep up with the track and the track conditions, whether it's a day-to-night race or
For the
just,
second time tonight, Kevin
you know, a
Harvick
day race all the way
has
throughout, a
quickly
night race
given
like
away
this
2
one all the way
spots.
throughout where it's
Just
been
then,
dark
Martin
pretty much the
Truex
whole time, but
went by, picked up
with the
another
rubber
one.
being laid down and other drivers are just on top of it more than... I don't think it's so much that, you know, the driver who is out in front falls off as much. I think it's just other drivers kind of close that gap.
People that's behind you as well.
But look, is there anybody behind him?
No, not too close.
So, I mean, he can give up those spots and kind of be in the rocking chair. You know, nobody in front of me, nobody behind me.
You know, as we watched Denny Hamlin there, Steve Burns reminded me, and he's about to catch a bunch of traffic. We had Denny Hamlin on our
Man,
trackside
2.5
showing
seconds ahead,
speed
too.
last night. Now, Denny Hamlin,
not
not
even
only
close.
does he drive for Joe Gibbs, he's Joe Gibbs'
And Mark Martin's had a
next-door
great car, too, because he's
neighbor.
been in second the entire time,
What is
too.
it like having the coach,
Top 2
Joe
have
Gibbs,
not
back
changed
full-time
order.
at the
Third on back
racetrack?
has.
By the way, full-time is your neighbor.
419
He
laps
said,
led
"Boss,
this
the racetrack,
season.
It's actually going pretty good."
Most of all
He's a little
drivers. This is
pissed
just
off
his
about
third season.
being my neighbor because we got a basketball goal.
419 laps
We've
led in the
left
first.
basketball
I don't know what
court
Richmond
and the
was
lights shine
race-wise.
around in his bedroom. Not a happy man
I feel like it's
right
always
now.
been between
Not a
like
happy
races
next
7
door
and 9
neighbor.
most of the time.
Well,
7
there,
10.
Denny Hamlin is happy right now. He just told Mike Ford, I'm really good in the center, and I'm getting better
Probably
and
April
better
at some
drive
point.
off the corners.
Edwards has finally cracked the top 10.
Yeah, and you know, as soon as Denny wins a few more races,
Jeff
I'm
Burton's
sure
gained a
he'll
lot
be
of spots,
moving
too.
into a new
A lot of the bigger
neighborhood.
names that were outside the top 20 for most of the race have finally moved their way through the field a little bit.
AJ Allmendinger, you know, we're approaching the halfway point of this race in the 84 car. Qualified for his first race last week at Talladega, had a great qualifying run, came here, had to qualify on time, qualified 18th. We always go, wonder how fast he'll go backwards. You know what? He has not. He is sitting there in the 17th position. He's been on the lead lap and looked at the race car. It doesn't have a mark on it. Darrell, I think you know what has happened to this guy.
Well, it's 2 things. He went to school. Mike Skinner really taught this kid a lot about how to set his car up. I think 2 things happened. Mike helped the driver. Mike helped the team get the car better. Confidence. Much confidence.
AJ is 17th, and just ahead, there's Jeff Gordon, who got the free pass, a caution to go.
I mean, a lot of people talk about, we were talking about a little bit with the open wheel invasion around this time. I don't think anybody really talks about AJ Allmendinger probably being the best driver in NASCAR from that open wheel invasion.
Gets in there and he tells them something.
I mean, this was the time he came into NASCAR. They just mentioned his first start was at Talladega the week before.
175 laps complete.
He's got a few Cup wins and
NASCAR Sprint
2
Cup
Cup
racing
wins to be
on
exact,
Fox
but
is
a lot of
sponsored
Xfinity
by
wins.
Non-drowsy Claritin Allergy Products. The most anybody's ever led. on
It's
the
definitely
3-car
between him and
track here at
Montoya, for
Richmond.
sure.
Bill Elliott, 1992, led
Little bit of smoke.
348 laps en route to victory. Tonight, so
back
far,
with
hometown
whoever's
hero
car
Denny
this is.
Hamlin has led them all. He is 3.6 seconds.
Somebody on his outside, I don't know if that was because it was contact with the smoke or locked the tires up.
Kyle Busch is third, Dale Earnhardt Jr. fourth, and Martin Truex rounds out the top 5. NASCAR President Mike Helton joins us upstairs, proudly wearing his NASCAR
Mike
Day
Helton in the booth.
I got mine. Here's what they look like. You can get them at the Home Depot. It goes for a great cause and to benefit the NASCAR Foundation and all its worthy causes. So if you wear that on NASCAR Day, you get to wear your NASCAR gear to work. Now there's a stretch.
It is. This is our 5th NASCAR Day, May the 16th, and it started off as an opportunity for all race fans to show their colors on that Friday. So we're excited about May the 16th, and everybody should come out to work. Hopefully their employer lets them do that. Ours does, thank goodness.
That's why I say it's no stretch. We get to wear our NASCAR gear every day we go
You
to
had
work.
to be blown away how the fans have embraced this NASCAR Day. I mean, it is just.
I didn't know
busting at the
NASCAR Day was a
seams every
thing.
time we have it.
It has. Every year it gets better.
May
to not
16th.
just fans,
Remember that.
but
Mark
the
your calendars. May
corporate
16th,
sponsors,
NASCAR
the
Day.
broadcast partners. the
Every day's
garage
NASCAR
area,
day to
everybody
me.
has begun to really embrace NASCAR Day, so it's working out very well.
Yeah, it is. We over Sam Bass is there in next to the Charlotte Motor Speedway or Lowe's Motor Speedway, and they have a telethon where drivers come and you can call in and make contributions to your favorite charity, MRO in my case, your favorite foundation, whomever it may be, or in the NASCAR Foundation. So it's a good way for all the fans to participate, and it's a great, great event.
And it's a lot of fun, too. And everybody does come together, and it's a great day. It's 1-800-May 16th is the phone number on Friday, May the 16th. There is a telethon. A lot of the garage area, all of us will be there. A lot of the garage area will come in and out and participate in it. And the funds from that day gets distributed out back the way the fans want it to. If they want it to go to a specific foundation or a driver's calls, then it goes out that way.
Yeah. We'll look forward to it. So get your pin. They're on sale at the Home Depot, or you can go online and support NASCAR Day and a lot of great causes.
One other quick thing before I leave you guys. Congratulations on your Emmy this week. That's a neat deal. I think it's your third one in 7 seasons. So we're not only proud of you, we're grateful. You guys do a great job. So thank you.
Well, we're proud of it. We're proud of the great relationship we have with the sport. Folks, you don't know it, but to avoid a conflict with baseball, NASCAR pushed back the start of the race 5 minutes to help us out a little bit tonight, and we appreciate all the cooperation. Thank you.
Good deal.
At Richmond, Virginia, Denny Hamlin continues to wear out this field. 188 laps in the books. He's lapping at 23.75 right now. He is not the fastest car on the track, but he's got a big cushion, Darrell. He's got 3.6 seconds on the field. He's got to work some lap traffic. So it's not an easy ride for Hamlin, but it's a hard ride trying to catch him.
Yeah, anytime you look at the times over here, he consistently picks the speed up when he has to.
It looks like a lot larger than a 4-second lead. I will say Kyle Busch is closing in on Mark. Over the course of this run, he's less than a second behind him.
But I think maybe as anticipated, Jeff Gordon in the 24 car, remember they got the free pass on the last caution, and now he's working his way up into the top 15. Dick
What?
Crawford looks like the
What a rally for Jeff Gordon. Casey Mears has rallied too. He's up to 14th. He was back there with Gordon most of the day. I didn't even see your comment. No, I'm assuming you put that in after I mentioned Mike Helton was supposed to be in the booth. Usually means something confusing or really bad is happening. Well, luckily it was neither of the two this time. That's a rare occurrence. Let's talk about NASCAR Day.
A lot out of the 24 car, and the thing that made it tough for these guys, they had to go to the back, and that got them in trouble early, and they got a lap down. But when you're in an impound situation like we were here, if you got a bad race
Still wear
car,
NASCAR
you
stuff
can
to
only
work on May
fix it once the
16th
race
if it's a
gets
day I
started,
work.
and that's what they've been able to do.
Oh, by the way, Michael Waltrip bounced
I'm not going to do
off the
that.
wall in turn
I'll
two,
get in
but
trouble
since
for
that's
that.
chapter 9 of that novel
If you're like, what are you wearing?
We'll
I'm supposed to wear that.
No damage. He continued. No problem.
Like NASCAR
They
Day.
figured out. He's got a spot over
May 16th. It's on the calendar and
We had a
everything.
race last week at Talladega, and I think we well documented why at the 2 Talladega races
Go into the break room,
and the
write it on the
July Daytona
calendar.
race that
NASCAR
NASCAR does
Day.
the impound is to
May
save the
16th.
owners money. The big reason at the 2 Richmond races, because of it being a Saturday night race, it's really all about track scheduling. The reason they've turned it into an impound race, these 2 short track races.
Yeah, I heard one of the crew chiefs say that, you know, it's
Montoya's
really
still in the
a nice
race.
deal for them because
Kinda figured he
if they
would
had to
be.
come back out
I
here
think he had too
today
much damage.
and be at the track all day and then race tonight, it really zaps them. And it really hurts their performance tonight. So have the day off and come in tonight and run a great race.
Carl Edwards 8th, chasing that maroon 07.
Oh!
Clint Boyer, who just got into Montoya.
They did not give Montoya a lot of room there.
Line, or vice versa. And there's a lot of smoke from Montoya down in turn 2.
Now remember, Montoya brought our last caution.
It's because he just got hit in the
It
left
looks
front
like right
fender.
now
Now
he's
it's
still got
rubbing
that
again.
Left front fender rubbing, but he's sitting out there right now.
That was from the contact he
It's
just
that
had.
contact, yeah. He's going to have to come to pit road now.
If he doesn't come to pit road, he'll be the next caution.
That's a lot of tire smoke.
To get a caution and not to be a caution.
Well, he's
Look
gonna
how
be
quickly
one.
that
He's gonna
tire's
come
going down,
here pretty
too.
quick.
He's got to pit this
I
time.
think the spotter ought to be telling him that that's a pretty serious tire rub. And
I'm surprised he didn't pit there. I don't know if he's going to make it back around.
Yes, I would be.
Yeah, good advice. You ought to see it from where we're sitting.
Should the caution wave, Reed Sorensen would get back on the lead lap. He right now is the first car 1 lap down. We're gonna be
Busch thought about going up the middle. That wasn't going to work. Oh, we still almost got into Patrick.
Busch, there was a little gap there. He thought about trying to shoot through between Patrick Caprante and Mark, but he decided better.
But he is definitely working over Mark Martin in that 8 car. Right now, this would be a battle for second.
Steve?
Mike, it's a lot of fun listening to Kyle Busch. He just said to his crew chief, Steve Addington, am I at least a quarter of a tenth better than Denny? Steve said, no. Keep digging. Kyle said, I'm going to dig all the way to China.
And I can believe that.
Sounds like something Kyle Busch would say.
Kyle Busch in position to leave here with the Sprint Cup point lead. Halfway, 200 laps. Denny Hamlin's led them all, but we're only halfway.
Caution. During the break.
Martin Truex Jr. moved up to 4th just before this.
Is it Montoya?
The 4th caution of the night. Regan Smith.
Oh, Regan Smith.
Allmendinger.
And AJ. That's a lot of smoke.
Started all the way back in the front stretch, finished up coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, they got
It
together
definitely
over
looked
here
like there was
coming
contact.
down into turn 1,
Oh
and then,
boy,
Regan
what a
just
save
took
by
it out
Regan.
for turn 2.
Dale Jr.'s car is getting
Looked like Dale Jr. off of turn 4
He
earlier in the race, and he got sideways.
Boys, he said it's not going to go away. We have to fix it. 4-tire change for Junior. Matt.
Mark Martin stopped short in his box to help his exit. He says, help me on my exit. I need a little more forward bite. I'm great through the center, Steve.
Matt, the 11 of Denny Hamlin, the 18 of Kyle Busch, very similar handling characteristics. They need
Wow.
more forward bite, both cars.
That was an easy race off pit road for Hamlin.
Well, it was no contest.
Mark
that
Martin
time.
lost
The
his
11
spot.
really won the battle off pit road, but you see right there, that 18 group, Steve Addington, they won the battle against Mark Martin. Tony Gibson off pit road, they'll take over the 2nd spot.
That accident happened just in front
Jimmy's
of
up
the race
inside
leader.
the top
Watch
10
11.
now.
Denny Hamlin get through here.
Jimmy was about to go a lap down. Oh my gosh.
Holy cow. Looked like to me another big break for
Oh,
Jimmy Johnson.
I didn't even see the 38 got plowed into. They didn't even show that part of the wreck earlier.
In Richmond.
Gillen got smashed into by somebody. I didn't see who that was.
NASCAR Sprint Cup
Yeah, look at that
racing.
one more time.
Right now,
That was too far back.
4-tire change for Junior. Matt.
no contest that time. They'll
In a cloud of smoke.
holy.
Watch over here. 38 gets ran. David Reagan hit him. David Reagan ran right into the back of him.
Halfway.
All those positions through a combination of things. They've had terrific pit stops. They've made excellent adjustments on the car, and Gordon has driven it extremely well. But just after that last pit stop, crew chief Steve Letarte came off the box and went to each and every crew
I realized
member
Boyer
that has
started pretty
worked
deep
on
in the
that
field,
car.
too.
Everybody going over the wall, everybody that's here in the general pit area, and patted them all on the back. He also got on the radio and told Jeff Gordon he is doing a great job.
Oh, Vickers and Menard.
With the 83 of Brian Vickers, and that one took 2 laps to unfold.
Yeah, Vickers actually got in trouble down here in 3 and 4. He got stuff all over his tires. He goes down into turn 1.
Yeah,
the
that
car
right
will
front's down. He's got pit
They
now.
come together off turn 2.
Vickers
Or not.
was not at the same speed as
Wow,
everybody
that's-
else, and when that
Come all the way around so I can tell what's wrong.
coming out of turn number 2,
Got tired down, buddy.
for everybody side by side.
If
I don't
you
know who
watch,
Paul
he goes
Menard's
into
crew
turn
chief
3
was in
over here.
2008.
They're 3 wide. It's Michael and a 48 car. He gets up
Vickers
into
wide
the
in the
stuff here,
wall.
picks up all that rubber and debris on his tires. You see it flying around.
Okay.
Now he goes down into turn 1, 3 wide again. I'm sure he's probably having a little difficulty with the tires.
I mean, all 3 of those cars, their car was going to the outside, and it just ran out of racetrack over there.
Paul Menard.
If it looked like they were in a situation where Vickers probably should have gotten out of the gas,
There's Gilliland, gets into Menard a little.
Menard definitely got
And it's all
sandwiched.
from there.
38 went right into the side of him while he was already making contact with Vickers.
Good news, and that somebody is Reed Sorensen who gets the
Yeah, some of the blame is probably on the 38 spotter for, maybe not saying they were still 3 wide. And Vickers probably could have gotten out of the gas there.
And time for an AT&T race break and a quick recap. Denny Hamlin dominating. He's led
No, it's still the first half of the race.
Jeff Gordon early. Remember, Denny, the pole sitter. Gordon starting at the back of the pack. Some pit problems. Casey Kane lost a 3-spot location here. And then Tony Stewart. Jason Lee up on the, his name is not Earl. He lost a couple of spots on that pit maneuver. In the meantime, Gordon did get his lap back when Juan Pablo Montoya had the spin out. Steve Letarte, his crew chief, cheering him on and getting Jeff Gordon back in it. Right now, Jeff Gordon.
I didn't realize.
Running 12th. And this AT&T race.
I think we're running a little slow.
Look inside the world of Richard Childress Racing.
Apologize for that. Give me a second
to. Because of AT&T, check out your cellular.
Try to sync everything back up again. I didn't realize we were live.
I think his teammate is getting ready to take him to task.
Tony Stewart 10th.
I think we're good now.
Jr. is 5th. Carl Edwards celebrating that new contract extension, steadily working his way up to 6th.
He's making his way up to 6th, but
should be good to go.
A guy who knows how to win here. He's also hanging right around there, Chris. And as we get closer to the end, I believe all these guys, plus a guy named Mark Martin.
Sorry for that, everybody. Hopefully we're getting to the end of the race.
All night long.
It's been 18 races since a driver has won from the pole. Denny Hamlin trying to change that. Mike, Larry, Darrell, they're getting ready to go green. Thanks, Chris. Denny Hamlin is making his 5th Cup Series start at Richmond. He has led every time at least 12 laps. He's never started worse than 7th here, and he has only one finish here out of the top 10. He's not yet won at his home racetrack. Ready to go green with our clear drive restart. Hamlin, Busch.
Yeah, no, I noticed it was lagging pretty bad, so I just completely paused the stream for a second. Restarted my laptop, should be good to go.
Look at the 18 up on the outside there. You just feel that advantage kind of.
OBS was lagging on me.
At a time. Not that he's getting any worse.
Oh, Kyle challenging.
Boy, Kyle Busch took it slideways off turn 2, trying to get the lead.
I think Kyle Busch in the 18 car knows if he's going to get the lead from Denny Hamlin, he better do it, and he better do it quick after a restart.
I'll tell you what, when you've led as much as Denny has, you get real comfortable with your car, and you're afraid to make any changes to it. Sometimes that bites you.
That is very true, Darrell.
We do need to mention it had only been 9 laps since that last caution. The top 10 cars stayed out. We had 12 cars at the back.
Hoping Dave Blaney makes a recovery. He's up, fell back to 25th. He's in 14th at one point.
The front 2 have settled down just a little bit now. Hamlin in what
Mark Martin lost a couple spots.
Cars out front, Steve.
Well, I guess he just lost that one spot. I think there's a lap car that's outside.
You're making me better in the center, but let's keep working on it. I don't want to get complacent because everybody else is going to get better.
Forgot who won? No, you'll remember.
I mean, that's the dilemma.
Give it another 170 laps and we'll find out.
Sorry, they all stacked up right there.
Oh, JJ Yaley got the... Oh, somebody hit hard. Oh, man. Carpentier, Johnson's... Oh, my gosh.
They just keep stacking in there. What turned into one car...
Looked like everybody was ARCA braking going into there. I don't remember that.
In turn 3.
Wow.
I tell you, the luckiest guy.
That's gonna be a red flag, I would have to imagine. The whole track was blocked.
He got into that, but he didn't get very
That's a nice
much
Kenton
damage.
scheme.
So he came through our point leader. He got more than I thought he had.
There are a lot of big names caught up in that. Kurt Busch.
The field bottleneck.
That happened quick.
Turn number 2. And piled up 800 feet later into turn 3.
I've been expecting that just by the way these guys have been racing each other 3 wide a lot tonight, more than I've ever seen here.
Oh, Dave Blaney got into him.
Edwards.
He got into him, and that forced him into Edwards.
That just knocked Yaley
Edwards
up
and
the
Yaley
outside
ended up in the
wall.
wall.
And then they started
And then,
up
oh
behind
my
the
gosh,
second
was
car
that Kurt that hit? No,
on the
Newman, I
inside
think.
wall, and it was on from there.
Newman was the one that hit the, no, Carpentier, my bad. Wow, Carpentier nailed that inside wall. Then he got nailed by a couple cars.
Boy, did you see Ryan
Kurt Busch
Newman
cleaned
just
him
go
out.
through
I
those
couldn't
guys
tell who
going by
cleaned
on
him out the
apron.
first time, though.
Nobody really got slowed down very much.
Big wreck.
And Matt Busch, Kurt Busch in the 2.
There were a bunch of violent hits in there. Here's one. There's the first hard hit for the 10. That's a hard hit. Then he gets hit hard by the 38. Johnson hit him hard. And Kurt Busch piled in hard.
Just keep on at 17. He's torn up big time.
That was a wild ride for Patrick
Kurt
Carpentier.
Busch has climbed out of his car. He's okay. And the red flag.
I wonder who turned him. I'm trying to figure out who turned the 10 on the backstretch. Because I think he was behind the 99. I couldn't tell who was behind him.
Over into the 99, actually.
They're just checking up. Wait. Man, he barely got clipped, too. I think he got clipped by the 38 after the 38 pounded the 10.
I think Digger got singed a little on this one.
Uh-oh, look out, Digger. Look out, Digger. Oh. Man. He went back in the zone just a second. I know I'm laughing
because all three of us jumped back.
How many lives does it go for him? Cats have 9. I don't know how many Gophers have.
Now it said Kurt Busch took quite a hit. Locked it up trying to miss Carpentier. Couldn't.
Oh, man.
Nowhere for Kenseth to go in the 17.
Sauter in the 70. And Gilliland. Folks, crank it up and give a listen to this.
Gosh.
And you know, right before this caution, I was just about to say that we were 228 laps into this race, now 230, and all
Kurt Busch
43
got
cars are
smashed.
still out there. Obviously, that's not the
Well,
case.
he smashed
now.
the 10,
Now,
but then he
again,
also got
we're under
smashed
red
from
flag
behind
conditions.
also.
You see the 48 cars sitting on pit road, the drivers evaluating if the crew members.
That looked like one of those
the
Dover
situation
crashes.
Under red flag, but per the NASCAR
Self-cleaning
rulebook,
racetrack.
You cannot work on the car.
Yeah, they're on freeze now.
Bounce off the inside wall, right back into traffic.
But you know, honestly, Daryl, for those guys, a red flag is a good thing. It gives you an opportunity to really survey the damage and make a good game plan.
Yep, it does. Well, there's 0 there. She's all crashed.
Ouch. How does a back bumper get crinkled like that? It's still like everything's for the most part intact.
Instantly.
Poor Dave Blaney. This is going to secure Dave Blaney some good finishing. I hate to say it like that, but that knocked out a lot of his competition he was battling with for position.
And then the field piled in.
Man, Jimmy actually ran right underneath the 38 pretty hard, too.
That's what's put us
Johnny
under the
Sauter
red
ended
flag
again.
at Richmond after
Yeah, that was
230 laps.
That was on Dave Blaney there.
Carl was lucky he didn't get a lot of damage
Man,
there.
he hit the wall hard. I don't think there was any safer barrier where Carpentier hit the inside wall either.
And what really magnified this whole situation, it was only 2 to 3
Like
laps
he hit a
after
concrete
restart,
wall,
and it
then ricocheted
happened
back across the
midway in
track.
pack. So half the field was coming at this whole situation.
I mean, the left side tires came up off the ground. You don't see that on a short track.
Monster moment. You have got a feel for Carpentier. He had a fantastic qualifying effort, started 4th, had a good race going, was staying on the lead lap for most of the night.
I don't know if he had a good race going. I mean, he was outside the top 25 after qualifying 4th.
Barrier.
You hate to see it end like that. Took a couple hard licks. The big one at Richmond. That has to be like the biggest wreck at Richmond.
At least
That then whatever year it was, I think it was 2000. Was it 13?
Has been known for excitement
where Newman and Stewart got into a wreck and they all piled up in that same corner?
Time for a look back. Brought to you by Ford. Drive One. Spring 1992.
Oh yeah, that track was blocked.
Bill
There's
Elliott,
no way they were
Junior
going
Johnson's
to
number
get any
11
laps in
Ford
under
battling
caution.
Alan Kulwicki. In the Hooters Ford, that was the finish. Elliott got the win by 18 inches.
Wow.
Fast
What year was that?
Atlanta in November the same season. Kulwicki gets his revenge and beats Elliott for the championship. Ford, Drive One. Red flag at night. Racers delight.
We will skip the red flag. We'll go to some of the interviews, but we'll skip most of the red flag.
This all-new Aria is an elegant EV.
Yeah, got an ad.
389 horsepower.
2016 retirement year? Oh, okay, my bad. I was thinking it was his last year at, Newman's last year at Haas for some reason.
Zero sugar and epic flavor. Rockstar Pure Zero.
Thanks, Krista. Drivers being released from the care center, and we'll check with Dick Bergeron, who's down there.
Well, Patrick Carpentier has come out of the care center. He's okay, but gee, you had such a great start to the night, qualified in the 4th position, but it was wild. What was it like inside the car?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I saw the guys up front. They hit each other, saw the smoke starting to come up, and I was trying to avoid it, go to to the inside wall, and I got hit from behind, I think, spun around, hit the inside wall, and almost accelerated, and got back to turn 3 and hit some cars, and then got hit. There were a lot of smokes. I couldn't see nothing. I just had my hands off the steering wheel, but that carbon fiber seat is pretty good, actually, because I got hit pretty hard, and everything's okay. So too bad for life luck, but we had a good start at least tonight. You know, I just want to finish, get some points, but man, these wrecks happen fast on a short track like that, or a big track.
Indeed, and when they start, a lot of stuff happens.
Well, that's the problem with this back straightaway is relatively narrow, and when one car gets sideways, things pile up in a hurry. We'll show you again the cars involved in the crash that has put us under the red flag here. 230 laps into this 400-lap race. Some of these cars,
I remember Newman's interview from that wreck too.
Now this could be of consequence to point leader Jeff Burton, who could lose the point lead.
That was another reason why, for some reason, I was thinking it might have been 2013. But
and can tell us about some of the things these teams
now that you
will
mention
do
it, yeah, no, that makes sense. It was 2016. It was the summer race 2016.
At the Ford 360 car again, look at the Dow Automotive, safety absorbing foam is in the right side of these cars. A lot of guys were running in each other. Patrick Carpentier talked about he got hit several times, but you see him walk.
Steps out with the lead ahead of teammate.
Back to the restart.
Martin Truex and Greg Biffle after a long red flag for a 10-car pileup.
I think Denny must have heard Kyle say it.
It seemed like there were more than 10 cars in that night. Felt like more. Practically all of them DNF that were involved in it.
Yeah, we have 19 cars on the lead lap. We have one car officially out, Kurt Busch in the 2 car, and we have 5 or 6 cars in the garage area trying to get back out on the racetrack. See Dale Earnhardt Jr. there in the 88 car, one of the cars that came to pit road under that last caution to get 4 tires.
I'll tell you what, Larry, these guys are still trying to wreck again.
The smoke from Robbie Gordon locking it up into turn,
locking them up, going down in the corner, and 3 wide again.
Jamie Max into the top 10. He got the free pass back on lap 129 in the 26 and has fought his way back into contention, as has Jeff Gordon, who just made the pass.
It's a nice paint scheme for Jamie McMurray. He always had some good schemes in that 26 car.
Red flag over there. It's not a bad thing. Halfway through the race, stop, catch your breath, regroup, get your big old drink of cold and something or another, and have at it.
Even Kurt, when he was in the 97, I really liked the Sharpie scheme. Rubbermaid, of course. Those classic days.
The worst he has ever started at Richmond.
Irwin Tools always had some good paint schemes.
Better. Now it's a top 10 car.
Yeah, it's definitely they got.
Gordon's in the top 10. What a rally! He was outside the top 35 at the beginning of the race at speed. He could not pass anybody. That's how slow he was at the start. Now he's in the top 10. He's 5th. Not just in the top 10, he's up to 5th.
A lot of good cars got taken out over there. Top 10, he just passed Casey Kane to move into the top 5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Here he goes by the 19 car.
Jeff Gordon's come to life. Kevin Harvick really fell back. He was in the top 5 not long ago. Now he's in 12th.
Now Kevin Harvick in the 29 car, he was one of the cars that elected to come to pit road and get 4 fresh tires, and I think he's reaping the
Dave Blaney's
right
21st. Unfortunately, he's a lap down still.
And Biffle in the 16.
After last night, I'd say he'll come to pit road every time there's a caution. What's he saying, Matt?
And that was the deal, DW. Last night, it was a no-win situation. Tonight, he hit pit road, still trying to make some progress on this race car. His biggest issue, trying to get some forward bite out exit. And meanwhile, the guy out front, Mark Martin, he was going to do what the guy in front of him did, and that was stay out.
Well, guys, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking on this race. The clock is ticking with opportunities to make adjustments on this race car as well.
Well, you know, one thing that I got, the 11 car is amazing. You think about this is an impound race. So whatever they did to that car to qualify on the pole, well, it had to be good for the race as well. This car has been flawless all night long.
And not to mention the practice everyone got, including the 11 car, was 2 hours in the middle of the day.
One concern we have, when we started this race, there was a stiff breeze blowing from out of the south. And there's a rain system that's been building down south of Petersburg and is in the way. This afternoon, we thought it wouldn't get here till about 2 a.m. But that storm is gaining momentum, and it's coming. Don't know how soon, but you just can't plan for this to be a 400-lap race because it might not go the distance.
You
You got to run now like every lap is the last lap, because it's official now, because we are past the halfway point.
We're told that storm is about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes away.
Oh, that is pretty close.
The perfect storm? The perfect storm.
Honestly.
The race will end.
Hour to an hour, 15 minutes. About 150 laps left still.
Like last week.
About 3 laps in a minute, roughly, at Richmond.
Kevin Harvick in the 29. We talked about
a little over a minute.
We're riding with Tony Stewart in the 20. These guys right now working their way just back inside the top 10. Just in front of this car's right here, a car that we've not really had a lot of time to talk about tonight. Our Daytona 500 winner, Ryan Newman, in that 12 car, had a great finish at Talladega. Since Daytona, they really hadn't accomplished a whole lot, but now it looks like they're maybe getting back on track with that 12 car.
Yeah, he's sitting there in a nice spot. Elliott Sadler in the 19 threatens to knock the wall down at both ends of the speedway every lap. He's up there in that Michael Waltrip groove. There is Michael in the 55. And they're both running as close to the barrier as you can get.
I noticed him running the top right before Mike Joyce said something too. Reed Sorensen's regathered himself to 14th. Passed a lot of guys that were in that wreck, but and he was outside the top 20 for a good while after qualifying in the top 5. He ran there pretty much first half of the first run, and then he lost some ground during those first pit stops, and then he started to go backwards after that first stop. Interested if he can get back in the top 10, get an underdog of the race award.
Carl Edwards had some damage in that one. Most of the cars involved in that crash were lead lap cars, so it has really changed the complexion of this race from about 10th on back.
Yeah, the Martin had a lot of damage, but he's going pretty good. And here's
Mark Martin putting the fight back to Kyle Busch.
Okay, boys, it's getting a little late in the evening here. Might be time for me to show you. I've been saving a little something.
Oh, he's got him this time. Oh, no, never mind. Kyle got a pretty... Oh, no, he didn't. Okay. I was going to say, he got through the first half of the corner really well. I thought Busch was going to get it back to the gas off turn 2, but I guess not.
I can't help it. I got to say it. Talking about that 18 car. It's so reminiscent of Earnhardt. You'd pass him, and then you'd look back in your mirror and you'd say, why did I do that? He's going to aggravate the fire out of me.
Steve?
Mike, the report from Kyle Busch. He says the drive off the corner is okay, but I've gotten tight in the center. I just can't keep up right now.
And when you're tight in the center and the car's not turning, it hurts the exit because you have to slow it down so much to get it to turn in the middle.
Good race right here, Larry. 9th place. Ryan Newman in the 12, Harvick, the 29, and Tony Stewart.
And they're all
racing
points up.
for position, 9th, 10th, 11th.
And that was a little bit of give and take there on Kevin Harvick's part. We've seen so many cars get in trouble off turn 2 because the cars lunged to the wall. Harvick rolled out a little bit, and he went ahead and let Newman have the position.
And wonder if these two guys are going to work together tonight, because they didn't seem
Alabama 90, thanks for tuning in.
But I tell you, DaleJr. got a little bit better car, but you got it again. Tip your hat to that 24 bunch. This is a pass for 5th place.
I found it funny that he was comparing him to Dale Earnhardt. We look at, like, now Kyle Busch is with RCR. I think personally he is the most comparable driver of any in NASCAR today to Dale Earnhardt from a driving style standpoint. Almost a carbon copy on the track. I'd say, as of right now, honestly, Kyle Busch has been one of the cleanest racers over the last few years. His last few years at Gibbs, all the way through the start of this year, like, he's not getting involved in any sort of on-track conflict at all. I can't even remember the last person he ran into.
Completing their stops.
It's been a long time.
It's just no contest, though, with that 11 car. They're having solid stops.
Gordon's still in the top 5 after pit stops.
Last pit box leaving.
Junior up 1, Truex down 2.
Let's show you how the 7th caution flag of the night occurred.
AJ Allmendinger, the 84
second
car,
wreck
Michael
AJ's been
McDowell,
involved in.
00 car, hard
That's a pretty hard hit. That one's going to do him in.
Looked
I don't
like
think
there
he's
was a
going to continue after
disagreement
that
on
one.
his face there.
That was a hard hit.
84 just really
Man.
got in underneath the 00 way too hard. Couldn't stay off of him and wrecked them both.
Now the deck lids are
McDowell was
tethered
involved in
by
that.
those straps so they don't fly off.
Oof.
And that's a good thing.
Gives you wings. He's gonna need one.
He's dragging that wing right
You're
now.
going to need to buy a wing. But it all comes back to the garage area where Allmendinger's car sits, and pit road is where McDowell has ended up. So let's recap what the leaders. Let's recap what everybody
That's a tape job right
under
there.
this caution flag, beginning with Dick Berggren.
They're still pulling it behind the
Came into
garage.
sixth position, picked up one spot on
Into the
pit
garage,
road
behind the
light.
pit wall.
The car was loose in, tight in the middle, and loose out. They did have the wrench in the back window for the second time in a row. Krista.
Well, if you remember, Dick, on the last stop, Dale Jr. said his car was too loose. The adjustment fixed that. He said the free condition was fixed, but he still needed to turn better in the center, so they went with a track bar adjustment. Half a round, that's all they needed. Dale Jr. thinks he's going to be just fine. Matt?
Mark Martin, who almost took home that win at Phoenix, his car, same car he had at Phoenix, he didn't want any adjustments the last time. He feels like the track is starting to change a little bit. He was battling too free on exit. He feels like the track has changed. No changes for the 8. Steve?
Well, Matt, Denny
Feels like the
Hamlin
track
turns
has
car,
changed,
turning
but no
really
changes
well in
to the
center
8.
of the corner. He said, help my forward bite. Help me get a little
Strange.
bit off the corner. Now, how's this for precise? They took 0.3 of a pound of air out of that left rear tire.
Doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't make any adjustment changes if Mark said he feels like the track's changed. Somebody stalled out.
Mary Lou, his mom.
Who is that?
Saw them coming down from the
Can't
suite
tell who
last
that
night
is.
that Denny had rented for them. He won last night's race, and boy, that was an ecstatic bunch. And there's Big Denny.
Big Denny.
His son lead all but one lap of this race so far.
I didn't know
If you
Denny was a.
everything you had to get your son to where he is, you'd be sitting up on that pit.
I didn't realize Denny
Getting
Hamlin
a
was a
return on
junior.
your investment.
Yeah, they all but went into bankruptcy to get Denny Hamlin's career really up and going.
Ready for our clear to drive restart. Get clear, get back to feeling like yourself again. We will restart with 134 laps to go. That means one more pit stop in the offing and a lot of racing. Here we go.
A little bit of an interesting situation. The 44 and the 55, Michael and the David there, they stayed out. They're on the tail end of the lead lap.
Walter got in front of Hamlin too. I wonder if that's going to cost him any time here.
It'd have to be a real quick caution, I think.
Not really. Looks like Hamlin's going to get right back around him on the outside.
But
Yep.
now they will battle each other to be the first car lap down to get the free pass.
Come on, Dave Blaney, get up there. They're right in front of you.
Each other and
He's got past the 44 and the 55 for the next yellow. Looked like he was about to get into the back of him. He got 2 crank it ups in one race. Oh, Dave's underneath Michael. Let's go, Dave. Oh, he got him too. It's amazing how quick Hamlin pulled away.
Denny Hamlin, runaway leader as they scrap for the first car.
Surprised Jeff Burton's in 13th with the damage he had for that big wreck.
Has that one. Then it's Mark Martin, Dale
Sorensen
Jr.,
fell back a little bit again.
Clint Boyer in there. But Hamlin and Busch.
We need a caution right now.
But you just mentioned Clint Boyer.
We need a yeller.
07 cars.
Blaney
Dale
can get
Jr.,
back on
he's wanting to
the
take
lead
that
lap,
position away
top
from the
20.
car that he's won here at Richmond before. The 8 car, he'll take that position
Mark
away.
Martin's fading
He'll
on
move
this
in the
restart.
third.
They probably should have made an adjustment
He's
change.
right there inside the top 5 and
That mind boggles
he
me
just
they
ran
didn't.
the fastest lap that he's run so far in this race.
Krista.
That's right, Larry. And before the caution came out, his spotter, Jimmy Kitchen, said back on lap 250, Clint, you will take the lead 50 laps from now. Obviously, things have changed a little bit, but I know Steve talked about minute air pressure changes. I can top his 3 the left rear on that last stop.
And I know that's twice we've heard 2/10 and 3/10, but for every pound of air,
I didn't realize Carpentier is going to finish last.
The spring rate of that tire,
Oof.
15 to 20 pounds, so it's actually more of a change than you think.
Get my phone back on the charger real quick.
Drafting's a little different here than it was last week at Talladega. Carl Edwards passing Jamie Mack for 14th place. Joe Nemechek right in there with them. And Robbie Gordon, they're both 3 laps down.
Carl is just kind of fighting his way back. Had a little damage there. Put that bear bond on the left front. I think they got the car fixed up pretty good now. It looks like he's able to pass some guys.
We need to mention Johnny Stoller and J.J. Yaley, the 70 and 96. They are now back out on the racetrack after being involved in that accident a while ago.
Carl, it's been in the garage the longest. Matt Kenseth has not yet returned. He's going to drop to 20th in the points.
Screw was like that.
Jeff Gordon, they're racing with Kevin Harvick.
Gordon's starting to lose more spots.
You know, you're talking about Matt Kenseth.
Restarted in 5th.
Kind of had a feeling he might be able to get himself back in the chase, but another bad night tonight, and now he's back to 20th. It's starting to look a little bleak for him.
Yeah, Darrell, he's almost a full race behind 12th right now.
And this is the 10th race. There's only 16 more to go till they cut off. So
interesting battle here. Tony Stewart at the back end of it with Jeff Gordon. Just ahead, the 29 of Harvick and the 9 of Casey Kane, the 7th place car.
you know, we talk about a 36 race season, but for the chase guys, they're going to be in it. It's a 26 race season.
That's what Denny Hamlin told us yesterday. He said, we're trying to win races, but all we're worried about is just being in the top 12 in points when the checker flag waves here at the end of the summer for those final 10 races.
Well, I don't know. Something would have to go wrong with that 11 car. They'd have to have a big malfunction in the pit on the one more stop they're probably going to have to make. Nobody's in the same league with this cat tonight.
Your home track, Darrell, was Nashville, and by extension, when Nashville fell off the schedule, Bristol, Tennessee. Was there anywhere you went that you were more pumped up to win?
Doing the scan on my brain to see my stress levels and everything does not sound too bad. I'm actually so interested.
That was the last people I was expecting to interrupt my NASCAR.
One of your home tracks.
No, you're so comfortable. You know, you didn't have to worry about going into a restaurant and eating dinner. You didn't have to worry about sleeping in an uncomfortable bed. Your family was there. Your friends were there. It was like going to the park to a picnic when you went to Nashville to race, and I'm sure he feels the same way.
That's what it's like for Denny Hamlin tonight.
And he's come so close here. In fact, in his rookie season, he finished second to DaleJr. Jr., and he said he could hear the crowd cheering. He said he'd like to think they were cheering for him, but he wasn't sure if it was for him or for DaleJr. Jr. winning the race.
I think tonight he'll know for sure.
I think he will.
He certainly did last night. When Hamlin took the lead, the fans came to their feet, gave him a great ovation as he went to victory lane in the nationwide race.
Oh, did you guys hear that? Denny Hamlin got a standing ovation.
Well, Kevin Harvick has moved into.
It's amazing how things have changed over the course of 15 years. It's hard to believe this is 15 years ago already. My goodness.
Sitting there with, you got Denny Hamlin.
Remember this like it was yesterday.
You got Joey Logano, who everybody in the racing world says he's the next big deal in our sport. You got another kid named Mark Davis. I mean, he's sitting there with a bunch of kids chomping at the bit, man, to go out and win these races.
You know what I'd do? I'd go on vacation with Norm Miller, too.
I think you'll see Joey Logano tomorrow if you go to Rockingham, North Carolina for Andy Hillenberg's ARCA race.
He's on the pole for that
I'm not
race.
surprised.
I've seen him race a couple of times out at the Toyota Shootout out in Urbandale. You and I were there. Kid's smart, good.
He's the NASCAR Camping World East Series champion.
And you saw Tony Stewart right now running in ninth. Tony's going to wave the green flag for that ARCA race. Greg Zeppedelli, Tony's crew chief, is going to drive the pace car to take that field to the grid.
Hope Andy has a big crowd at Rockingham tomorrow.
Race will be covered on speed too.
116 laps to go. Denny Hamlin has led all but one so far.
NASCAR
Sprint Cup Racing on Fox is delivered by UPS, the official express delivery
Brown, do for you.
of NASCAR. UPS delivers up to the minute race info at foxsports.com, keyword Fox Tracks. Big Brown won the Kentucky Derby. Now there's a name for a horse.
Sucker could run, I'm telling you that. From the 20, he came from the outside. 20th spot was supposed to be like the worst starting spot in the world.
He must have watched your brother race because he ran that whole race on the outside.
He did. I love the way that jockey rode him, though. He kind of pulled him back here a little bit going into turn 3. Then he kicked him in gear and came off.
Yeah, because I'm not even sure he was even in the top 3 or 4 and went off into 3.
Big old boy took the lead.
Speaking of running the outside, there's Michael Waltrip, 23rd place, 1 lap down. He and Elliott Sadler have been running that high line around the racetrack lap after lap.
I don't think he's got much right side left in that unit. He is rubbed on the wall all night long.
We've got 19 cars on the lead lap as we've got just a little over 100 laps to go. Right now, Dave Blaney in that 22 car, he would be the car in position to get the free pass, the first car a lap down.
Oh, do not catch Travis Quaffle. We need a caution before that.
Patrick Carpentier, Michael McDowell, and A.J. Allmendinger in the garage.
But Darrell mentioned Matt Kenseth in that 17 car fighting for every point they can get. They are back out on the racetrack. Right now, it looks like the only car in the garage area trying to get back
the sponsor's gone.
maybe David Gilliland in that 38 car.
He had to put a backup hood on it or something.
Larry, when they wreck these cars, if they don't bend the chassis up, if they just mess up the body, do they have to go back to the R&D center to be recertified?
No, the only thing that has to be recertified by NASCAR is if you do structure damage, like the roll cage, the front snap, the rear clip. Body-wise, you do not.
3 cars fighting for 5th place. Clint Boyer in the 07, Martin Truex in the 1.
I mean, the fact that Dave is actually still keeping up with drivers like at or near the top 5 this long into the run, he might have a top 10 car now. He can get back on the lead lap.
Stewart begins to fill up their mirrors.
Watching the scoring monitor, now he's almost 3 seconds behind.
I don't know when the next caution comes out, though.
DaleJr. Jr. in the 88,
I don't know if he's going to get his lap back or
lap
not.
times seems to be keeping tempo with that 11 car, but as I mentioned, he's about 2 3/4 seconds behind Denny Hamlin, as we now will have 100 laps to go. We're 3/4 of the way through.
What I would be worried about if I was Denny Hamlin, he's coming up on a large group of cars that he's going to have to maneuver through.
That probably will not cooperate very well.
So that could allow 18 car of Kyle to close up, and even the 88 could get close. Depending on how he works this track.
100 laps to go.
Getting down to it, boys.
And 1 more pit stop, Steve.
Mike, just listening to Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin's teammate, he says, I'm still a little tight in the center, but my exit is a lot better. I feel good right now.
I mean, I'd say he's literally led every lap today, guys.
If you look at about the top 5,
Denny Hamlin has led the first 300 laps of this race. Nobody else has led.
Get locked in and run about the same speed, but that 11 car can just roll the center of the corner.
Clearing away the favorite all the way throughout.
Denny Hamlin has now led 300 laps. Bill Elliott led 348 when he won here in 1992. The last driver to win and lead every lap was Jeff Burton at New Hampshire.
That charter pace.
Hamlin can't do that because A.J.
Similar to the Roush days with the number 60 car.
To pick up 5 bonus points.
Busch Series.
Yeah, AJ led 1 lap, back on lap 207.
But Hamlin is on a tear. His last 4 races include a win, and they are all top 5 finishes.
But you know, when you look at what Joe Gibbs Racing, what they have done in Sprint Cup Series racing this year, of course they have the 3 wins, Denny at Martinsville, Kyle Busch at Atlanta, and at Talladega last week, and in the Nationwide Series. I mean, they won the last 5 races and could have very well won every one of those races. So many people question Joe Gibbs Racing making the move.
It's weird seeing Kyle Busch first Talladega.
They knew they could go to Toyota
and be the cat daddy in the alley.
The cat daddy in the alley.
No matter how many races
What does that mean?
they would always be the third or fourth spokesman.
I know I wasn't born and raised in the South. There's some weird sayings down there, I'm just going to say. What does that even mean, the cat daddy?
I mean, people felt like that was a gamble, that he was going to come in and disrupt what they had going on there. So everything they did in the offseason was like they were charmed. They couldn't have worked out any better.
And the real challenge was not changing the cars over. It was a matter of a few decals, the nose, and the tail section. Who gets the real award is Mark Conquest and those guys in the engine shop, because that was like starting from scratch almost.
Jeff Gordon seems to have picked up some front-end damage there, Dick.
Yeah, indeed he has, Mike. And one of the tricks that they've got here in the 2020.
I didn't think it was damage. It looked like tape that got ripped off. I thought. Guess not. He's smoking. I wonder if he's got a hole in the radiator.
They are now in the process of getting the tape together so they can fix that damage on the next pit stop.
He's smoking in the middle of the corner.
Darlington last year, he won the race down there, and remember his car.
Could just be
for the
me.
last what, Larry?
My eyes deceiving me.
The latter part, it shot steam out of it the entire last 100 laps or so of that race. So if it starts to get hot, there's his camera he's talking about to take those pictures. Pretty ingenious idea, I might say.
And here's Denny Hamlin.
Oh, don't do that, Denny. Jeez Louise.
Sam Hornish.
That was never the idea. Not the right one, at least.
Right there, Nemechek, the 18 car has caught up with him. So he's giving up
Denny's
that
caught in traffic.
he had. Here comes Kyle off of the turn.
He has dominated the day, and he got Sam Hornish and David Rudeman side by side in front of him. I don't think either one are on the lead lap. Denny just gave the 77er shot.
The move over flag here.
Give him the old bump and run there. Say, I have to go.
Remember, everyone was on pit road at lap 262. We're at lap 310. We are into what would be a one-stop race. If we stay green, about lap 345 to 355, we would see everyone come to pit road for what would be possibly their final pit stop.
Denny Hamlin's dad watching his son lead all but one lap so far.
Yep. And he's like,
Yeah, that only lap that they mentioned a little bit ago that he didn't lead was under caution. AJ Allmendinger stayed out an extra lap, got 5 bonus points unpitted after everybody else. That's kind of cheap. That's the only lap he never led. That was out of his control.
Battling Jamie Mack. And Reed Sorensen has rebounded nicely. He got caught up in one of those crashes. And Sorensen took advantage of a free pass, and he's been on the lead lap ever since in the 41.
You know, just looking at Denny Hamlin and looking at Denny Hamlin's dad as we're looking at Reed Sorensen in the 41 car, this is Denny Hamlin's 89th career start, and he only has 2 DNFs. I asked Denny Hamlin about that. I said, you evidently pride yourself in finishing races. He said, you dadgum right, because when me and my dad were working on my race car, if I wrecked it, A, we were going to have to pay for it, and I was going to have to be the one to fix it. I prided myself on taking care of my equipment.
Guys that have started that way, own their own cars, kind of family operations, make great race car drivers.
86 laps to go in Richmond, Virginia on the 3/4 mile. Kyle Busch now just a half a second back of the leader as McMurray draws alongside Casey Mears for 17th.
Car that seems to be fading now, and he's kind of been up and down all night, is Kevin Harvick in that 29 car. In fact, Jeff Gordon in the 24 just went by him for the 8th spot. So it's like they still do not have this 29 car where they need it, and they may only get one more.
Yeah, they were as high as 3rd, but then he was outside the top 10 for a little bit, about 100 laps ago or so. Not long after that big wreck.
Came in here expecting to be contenders, but Jeff Burton got caught up in one of the crashes. They do have one car in the top 5. That's Clint Boyer.
Sorry for yawning. I got the yawns tonight. What am I watching?
Richmond, capital of the Confederacy. All up and down Monument Row. between the states. Tonight on the 3/4 mile short track, it's the war between NASCAR's top teams. Joe Gibbs Racing, DEI, Hendrick Motorsports, all at the front of the pack.
Now you watch that 11. He's been eating the bottom.
I would say DEI was the top team in 2008.
Last couple laps,
okay.
He moved up a little bit to see if he could make any time up a little higher. He knows the 18. He feels his presence. He feels him breathing down his neck. He's starting to search around a little bit to see if there's something better.
Now we've got 74 laps to go, and as I mentioned,
Bobby Labonte's up to 15th. That's interesting because he was a lap down at one point. I remember early in the race. I think he was only 1 lap down, but he was right around where Gordon was at the start of the day, about 35th. So he's made a pretty good rally too. 43. Fortunately, Dave Blaney has fallen back a little bit. That's unfortunate.
A few weeks ago, what makes Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart good teammates, they're so much alike. You know what makes them alike? They cannot stand to run second. And Denny Hamlin said, no, it behooves me to run second to my teammate. And it all started at a Goodyear tire test in Atlanta in the fall. They each kept trying to be king of the hill at that tire test, but they respect each other at the same time.
Well, I'll tell you what Denny Hamlin's doing right now. He's overdriving his car. He's sailing that thing off in the corner. He sees the 18 back there now, and he's just driving in the corner too hard. And it's really hurting his lap time. It's hurting him as far as getting into the corner. He's overdriving it.
Darrell, when you've led every green flag lap this late in a race, do you really know how good your car is versus the competition? Because nobody's come up to test you.
Nobody really has, but you know what? They always told me when you're looking back, you're losing time, and I think he's starting to look back. And that 18, you see that smoke boiling off of it? That's the brakes, the tires, the steering
I noticed
wheel.
Kyle Busch has been smoking for a little while.
Right now.
Ken's at this too, it looks like.
Denny Hamlin, the 11 team, they've had a ton of success.
He had a lot of
with each
damage
other.
earlier though, so his is a little bit more explainable.
We have seen this happen before to this group, that they were dominant in a race, and whether it was mechanical walls or the Hamlin go away, they didn't close the deal at the end of the night.
What I would be telling Denny right now is, dude, just float it down in there like you've been doing all night long. I think you'll be okay.
Dale Jr. is third. He is 2.4 seconds off the lead, and his lap times pretty much mirror Hamlin's at this point.
And I'll tell you the other thing I believe, too. I believe that 18 really made a hard run at Denny to try to get his attention. Because right now it looks like they've kind of equaled back out.
You know, Mike, if it gets down to this green flag stop, it will be a lot of cat and mouse because unlike at a speedway, you make a green flag stop here, you're going to go a couple laps.
We weren't getting any ads until I restarted my laptop. I'll let that be known.
The most advanced
This one isn't even skippable.
are the ones that prepare you for everything.
One of these weeks I'll have
Kia,
YouTube Premium
movement
back and
that
we'll have
inspires.
to deal with this.
But you don't
Whenever I remember to actually go back on the
we've already documented how much fresh tires
payment,
fix you
update
up.
my card.
Yeah, that's the big thing right there is coming to pit road first. And then the dreaded caution comes out.
Well, Dale Jr. almost caught a piece of the wall coming out of 2 last time. Look at this.
We have seen him get loose off the corner several times.
Wow.
We played some radio
It wasn't as bad as it was earlier,
break
but
a while ago. He said, I just don't have
that was
good
definitely a
drive
slip
off
and
the
slide.
corner. Don't hurt my turning, but I need to be tighter under acceleration.
But I think what we're seeing is a product of laps running out. Everybody's pushing a little harder and a little harder. And the car's going to get, you know, if it's got a problem, really going to amplify itself here late in the race. He just did it again.
I was going to say, he got loose again.
Chris and Jeff, the lead is tightening up. There's 1 pit stop to go.
Denny Hamlin's
as we get into these laps.
I mean, he's led every lap. Let's just be honest. He's led every lap.
After these pit stops, right? Should you get another caution?
65 to go. Lap traffic kind of held him up a little bit. Busch closed the gap. Now the pressure's on. Everybody still has to pit, though.
All these scenarios. When do I pit? If I'm leading, do I want to pit first or I want to let the guy
Dave
run
Blaney's
second?
about to go 2 laps down.
If I'm the guy leading,
No,
I'd
block
like
for
to
your
see
life,
second place
Dave.
pit before me. I don't want to stay out any longer. We've already seen how you can pick up a lot of valuable time, but you can't beat yourself. That's the key thing right now. You got to realize I'm leading this race. I'm Denny Hamlin. Don't get caught speeding coming on pit road. Don't make any mistakes getting off pit road. And oh, by the way,
I'm one of the crew members, I don't want to make a mistake that's going to cost us the race.
Well, the next pit stop, right, and maybe the final one with about 50 or 48 to go. So the pressure building, it's been a long night. Do they feel it if you're a member of the pit?
Absolutely. You know that it's coming down to you and what you know how to do. Doing it right is so important right now. Doing what you've trained to do. Being smooth, being precise. You've got to be ready for this mentally as well as physically.
Should a crew chief play out all the scenarios? Is he trying to ahead of time so it's easy to call on his folks?
If he hasn't got those game plans in place, realizing we can't call a timeout and do a do-over, he's going to get caught. He's going to make a mistake, and it will wind up costing the race. Right now, a lot of pressure on Mike Ford because it's his race to lose.
And Denny Hamlin has led all but one lap, but of the top drivers in their teams, Kyle Busch behind him, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mark Martin, Clint Boyer, what about the pit crews? How would you rank? Does anybody have an edge going in?
Right now, you can't take anything away from the 11 crew. They've been on top all night long, and you've got to believe
Busch is coming
right there when it counts. But if I'm another team like Joe Gibbs' 18 car, you know what you can do against these guys. There's going to be a little mental game going on. Dale Earnhardt Jr., he needs to push the envelope maybe a little bit, getting on and off pit road so he can close some ground. There's going to be some guys gambling right now, and the ones who get caught are going to pay a huge price. But if they get by with it, they may be able to close some ground and put pressure on this 11 car.
Sorry, I haven't been able to look at the chat in a little bit.
On the 18 car, Steve Burns has the latest.
Take a quick glance. Stu Isaac, thanks for tuning in. Dale Campbell, Kenneth, welcome into the stream also.
Thanks, Steve. The top two teams, top two cars.
Sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. What's my go and start operating again? I'll get the chat back on for the finish of the stream. 59 to go. Busch was like right there, and then Hamlin seemed to pull away just a bit once he got by, who's that, Bobby Labonte? And they've left him. Oh, that's Kyle Petty, my bad. I was going to say, it looked like a Petty car. Colors.
When I look at the top three, if
one 43.
the other two better.
Hamlin really gapped him that time.
But I'll tell you, I'm not coming in until I have to. Just
Which didn't quite have Petty cleared, and Hamlin was able to clear Johnson pretty easily. Johnson's running a modified, a Car of Tomorrow modified.
Your night's over with. So
He is hoodless,
going to come to pit road if I can. Plus, if there's another car,
and I believe that left front tire is exposed.
I've got better tires than I might be able to stay out.
57.
Get a good look at it right here.
One more pit stop.
Oh, maybe not. I didn't realize Dale Jr. is going to get around him that quickly.
Become the third driver to pull off the weekend sweep at Richmond. Harry Gant in 1991, Kevin Harvick in 2006, both in the fall.
But I think we're definitely seeing the product of what Steve.
I didn't realize Hamlin won the night before, too.
Because for about 8 to 10 laps,
Won the Xfinity Series race, and he's led every lap of this race so far. I honestly don't remember Denny Hamlin being this dominant in this race.
All the fuel load off. This is when it's starting to pull away a little bit. The 11's back better than the 18.
See, there's modified Jimmy Johnson.
I believe 11 is being.
They just need to cut the right front fender off and get to make it a pure modified. With a win.
18 closes up a little bit.
I guess they kind of have one. Do they? Or do they have, no, they have spoilers. Pretty sure modifieds have spoilers. I don't think they have wins.
Excuse me, he is not on.
I had to think about that for a second.
And is 6 laps down.
That tire's getting away. A couple of them noticed it. That'll probably be a penalty. He was already a handful of laps down, but he'll probably let it slide just because. I feel like knowing NASCAR at this time. Like, he's not even on the lead lap. Oh, well. And Mark Martin, I mean, he's in 4th place still, but he really fell off compared to where everybody else was, because he was in 2nd for the entire first 2/3 of the race. They didn't make any adjustments during that last pit stop, and they've gone green ever since. It's been about a 100-lap green flag run. Pretty close to it.
Only about a 1/10 of a second difference between the first two cars. But
I don't know if they get into green flag pit stops or not, honestly.
1.4 seconds.
This is a battle for 6. We're watching right here. No longer
Tony Stewart out of nowhere up to 6.
In the 20 car we're riding with it just went by Martin Truex Jr. in that 1 car for 6th place.
A great shot looking back at the right rear, which is up. Martin Truex Jr. thought he had a flat tire on that right rear because the car is so loose. He told his guys, be ready. But their spotter, Joey Meyer from high top, said it
feel flat. And I've got a feeling we're this close to getting a pit stop coming here. That's probably what his problem is. He's worn out the right rear.
And Darrell, we have not had a green flag.
Hamlin really gapped Kyle Busch again.
It's tricky.
It was getting close, and now he's pulling away.
Back in the middle of turn 3.
Well, seems like Earnhardt's starting to reel into 18. He was within 0.4 of a second. Now he's 1.3 back.
Right here is the commitment line. So you're way, way back there when you have to. Here's pit road entrance way up here, but the commitment line is pretty far back in the middle of the corner.
And you have to get down on that apron, and trust me, that apron is pretty slick right now.
Box right there, that's where the commitment cone was at the start of the night. Don't know where it is now. We've had a couple of crashes over there.
And of course, here's the commitment line, and here's the green light that tells you pit road is open. Let's see if we can have any takers here. Here's Hamlin going. He goes by, so he's not coming in this time.
Denny Hamlin has now set the record for leading the most laps.
Wow, track record.
In a race on the 3/4 mile at Richmond. Over 350 laps tonight. That's a record.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had this dominant of a race, honestly.
Racing has led. They won the race at Talladega. They led 110 laps total in that 188-lap race last week.
Gibbs cars running 1-2. That's where they finished at Atlanta. Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart.
I'm surprised Kyle Busch hasn't pit yet, considering he's starting to lose the 11.
It's going to be 1, 2, 3 when this race ends.
Just to try to get some of that time back with the fresh tires.
Martin Truex, he's closing in on Clint Boyer.
12th place race, Ryan Newman and Greg Biffle. Newman in the 12th.
Come on, Biff.
Trying to hold off Biffle. 46 laps to go.
Nope. Oh!
Boy, Casey Mears.
I think Waltrip's pissed.
Get tangled up and couldn't get loose. Into caution. Will fly.
If you ask me, it looked like he was trying to turn him on purpose.
He just had went a lap down,
And Michael Waltrip is beyond pissed.
Not too many laps ago.
Were they hung together?
Those cars looked like they were coupled together.
And I think something happened to the 5, and then Michael got into it. He couldn't get off.
See if Casey loses a right front here.
Well, he kind of squeezed him into the wall,
Yeah, no, he just went over the top.
and then Waltrip got ticked.
Michael thought they were still racing.
I do not remember this feud in this race. Jesus, I mean, he drove him all the way down into the turn 1 wall. I mean, Casey Mears cleared when he was, obviously he was not clear. Caution was out for a while, and he was just on the gas all the way until they got to turn 1. And then he tore him up a little more.
I'll show you what Digger saw over there in turn 2.
I don't care what Digger saw. He can go back in his hole.
Pit road's open, Krista.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said his right rear is sliding and it's nagging him. He said, I'm the third best car out here. That's not enough. I need more grip to
Last stop of the day.
That is the intention. That's what they're going to do.
Well, it's a good thing Kyle Busch didn't short pit. I don't remember that, honestly.
The looser the car got, chassis adjusted for the 8. Steve.
Matt Denny, Hamlin, the race leader, says just help my forward bite.
I'm not going to say I don't think I've never seen Michael Waltrip lose his cool, because I remember him punching leg speed. I mean, I wasn't alive when that happened, but
And the first 3 come out.
I remember throwing a jab at him, though, in his car. So I'm not going to say I've never seen him upset before, but he's not usually a guy that would get upset like that.
Not a change at all there.
I think what added to Michael Waltrip's frustration is the fact that it's his own car.
So close.
He's driving his own car that got wrecked by Casey Mears.
Michael Waltrip for
Yeah,
the
new
duration
track
of the event.
record.
We're under caution for the 8th time tonight.
I wonder if he got fined. I need to Google that.
Question about that.
That's me. Apologize for that. Give me a second.
Sprint Cup Racing
Hi, Keegan.
is sponsored by State Farm, where great coverage meets great rates, like a good neighbor.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
By Lowe's for all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, let's build something together. By Subway, where Tony Stewart goes to fuel up.
back up.
Subway, race hard, eat fresh. And by Sprint, welcome to the...
I need to look up if Michael Waltrip got fined for that, because I feel like he should have. I don't know if the boys have added it this time or not. 40 to go.
40 laps to go.
Hamlin's led them all. Pit crew's been doing a great job, too. They've won the race out of pit road every single time. Clean stops.
Pushing Mears down the back straightaway. They got Michael parked for the night.
Oh, yeah. They parked him for the rest of the race. Okay, so he did get penalized for it. I mean, granted, the car was pretty damaged before, but they parked him. NASCAR had parked Michael Waltrip. Like, yeah. I mean, he basically tried to Kenseth him like Kenseth did to Logano. He just he drove him into the wall. He just didn't take himself with him. It's probably because he owned the car. Otherwise, he might have. That's a rivalry I didn't expect to see tonight. I was expecting to see a legendary rivalry, not a Michael Waltrip versus Casey Mears. Oh, geez, that was great.
And he was a little rude. He beat Hamlin. He won the race. Yeah, that's what he was there to do.
Then he got in a little bit of trouble, had to go to back, but he fought his way back up there to finish fourth. But they had a great night over there, raised a lot of money for the foundation.
Southside Speedway.
We were riding with Dale Earnhardt Jr. He and Clint Boyer both just ran their fastest lap of this race here on lap 362.
Let's mention Reed Sorensen got the free pass on that caution, so 17 cars are on the lead lap.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., that 88, he's starting to work that high groove just a little bit, especially down there in turn 1 and 2. Got a great run off turn 2. He's going to go to the inside of
not paying attention. I was trying to find out if Waltrip had a fine.
Diamond in the corner where you let it go up the hill and then run.
Got a battle for second.
Great run underneath somebody. Now, if I was Denny Hamlin, we got a wreck up here in fourth.
Oh, Jamie. Oh, Jamie, baby. That was a hard back into the wall. 9 yellows. I was going to say, there's been quite a few cautions in the race.
That's going to leave a mark. So we go back to the last scoring loop position that the cars crossed prior to caution, and we'll see how they score that second place battle for the restart.
Yeah, it got pretty heated down in turn 1 and 2.
See what happened to Jamie McMurray.
There again, 3 wide, and somebody can't, just not enough room for these guys to do what they've been trying to do, especially getting into turn 3. That's a tight corner.
He carried a lot of speed in there. There may have been some contact, perhaps from Joe Nemechek, not sure from that angle.
Yeah, we're probably not done with cautions just yet.
Oh, no. Cautions. You can go all night long. You can go 300 laps and never have one. But then the last 100 laps, we may have 10 or 15.
No, right rear spring. Both truck arms are bent.
Ooh. Yeah, that thing was hopping up and down like a little league shortstop when I saw it.
He'll take her behind the wall. Now, we only ran 5 laps. There's no question we'll see the guys at the front stay out. May see some guys at the back of the lead lap cars hit pit road and get those 4 fresh Goodyears.
The situation we had last night, very late in the race. Kevin Harvick was leading. Carl Edwards was second. They did not pit. Had they pitted, everybody else probably would have stayed out. They wouldn't have had good track position, wouldn't have made it back to the front, but Denny Hamlin and everybody else hit pit road. Turned out to be a race-winning move. Same situation tonight if we get another caution a little later in.
If we run another 10 or 15 laps.
What ad we got coming now? ESPN Plus. I thought it was going to be the Kardashians again. It was not.
You better believe I think you want to come get those 4 fresh Goodyear tires, but I can't stress enough what I just said a moment ago when I look at the top 3 guys. You've got a guy that's leading this race that told Steve Burns, it means more to me to win at Richmond than maybe win the Daytona 500. You've got Dale Earnhardt Jr., who has not won in 2 years since here back in 2006. And as I said, that cat running second, he doesn't care. He just wants to win everything, every race.
What I'm saying, though, is this car. Every week this car does something, and I say, guys, I don't see how they can do it. They race harder in this car, I believe I've ever seen them race before. We're seeing 3 wide. A lot of place around this racetrack where you shouldn't be. But I think these guys are so confident and so comfortable with this car that they're doing things I've never seen them do before. They're being really reckless in this car. And they're doing some things that I think...
Yeah, I don't see anything about Walter getting fined for that.
Well, now I've got my 2
incident with
experts
Casey
up here,
Mears.
They're available to you 24/7 along with
Other than the
rest
fact
of
that they said that NASCAR parked him for the rest of the race, that was probably just a penalty.
And that is right there for you at foxsports.com 24/7 to answer your questions. Go to foxsports.com/askthepros.
Yeah, all it says is NASCAR parked Waltrip as a punishment. No fines given to Michael Waltrip.
About Saturday night short track racing is where we all got our starts. And normally when you run a short track event on a Saturday night, it's about a 25 or 30 lap feature. You know what? That's what we got here. We're going to have about a 30 lap feature to the end.
ninth caution flag of the
Allison, thanks for tuning in.
The big one.
Yeah, no fine for Mike.
Flag number 6 at lap 230.
I didn't realize you were looking too. Sorry, I was looking at the chat.
Cars started with the 96, J.J. Yaley, and 22, Dave Blaney. When it was done, half a dozen cars went to the garage. As things got very narrow there in the back straightaway. That's the 10 at Carpentier taking the hardest hit again and again and again.
Oh, that was a big wreck from earlier. Yeah, I forgot this was in it. I forgot. Honestly, I don't even remember anything of the Casey Mears Michael Waltrip rivalry. Like I did not know that was even a thing in this race. Probably started and ended right in that instant. Denny Hamlin has led every... I mean, that kind of stinks that spin for McMurray came out because a bunch of field back together again because Hamlin nailed the last restart. He's pulling away as Earnhardt and Busch are battling for second.
It's just not... It won't accept it right now as he bails that thing off in the corner. He paid the price through 3 and 4 that time. He's got his hands full of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I believe Junior's got the best car right now. I really do. He's really getting off the corner. Watch him drag up off the corner here and make the pass. That
clean pass.
Come alive, and he is looking for the lead.
2 long years since Dale Jr. last.
He went to the outside in 3 and 4 as soon as he cleared Busch, and now Busch is back underneath him. I don't know if he did that intentionally or not.
2 years ago.
That was risky.
After him on the bottom. Can he get there? Junior gives him plenty of room.
I think Junior's trying to run the top, though.
Here's the greatest thing that can happen for Denny Hamlin is these 2 guys going at it like that.
But I think the thing about Hamlin's car is it gets better on the long run. I think he's a little bit better over the long haul. I think Junior in the 18, they got a shot at him, but it'd be after a restart.
And the great thing about this is right now, all Hamlin has
372 laps led. He's led pretty much. He's led every lap.
And I know the 88.
He has led every lap.
Out the windshield, but they better look out their back window through the
I don't remember Hamlin leading this much. I remember him leading a lot. I didn't think he led every lap like this though.
That 88 gets off of turn 2 like the 11.
Impressive.
He's got some real grunt up out of turn 2 over there.
But he's definitely diamonding the racetrack, Daryl, the 88 car.
Dale Jr.'s coming.
Might be a little bit tight, but you're using it to your advantage.
We haven't watched a Dale Jr. win on the channel yet.
You know, you heard him say he wanted to tighten it up a teeny bit.
These classic races. Saw his dad win the 98 500 in the offseason. Watch that race.
Can you imagine what it would be like to ride in the race car with Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Well, I'm going to tell you what it's like. Right before that restart, Dale Jr. said to his crew chief, Tony Eury Jr., his father,
Wait to get chills again.
guys, I need some excitement.
I get chills at the end of most of these races.
Let me ask you something.
I might get it again.
Years ago, I think it was, when Junior won the last race here.
Somebody's
you know
slow
who
on the
ran
apron.
second to him?
Whoever it is, don't
leading
stop.
the race. And he said that night, he said, if I only known that...
I want to see if he catches him under green. I'm hoping if they do catch Denny, it is under
Well
green.
over 100,000 seats here at Richmond. They're all empty right now because they're all standing up.
Junior's car looks like might just be giving up now, Larry. I think they tightened him up too much. That's why he's running up the hill the way he did. It's good for a lap or two, but it goes away.
Kyle had a good look at him underneath in turn 2.
Good battle for second, though, honestly. Just before the caution, even since the restart. Boyer passed Martin on the restart for 4th.
See it right here. Kyle Busch, you go to the bottom. Look at what happens off turn 2. Junior gets the run on the
Bobby Labonte's up to 12th.
And I tell you, Denny Hamlin is just loving this. Because while they're messing with each other, he's on cruise.
Yeah, I think he's just running his car just hard enough right
Those
now.
are kind of rare. What does he have, with 26 wins in his career? It's quite a few. We'll get to him at some point.
Trying to scratch and claw out a second place.
Hendrick Motorsport wins, yeah, that might be
And with 20 laps
few
to go coming
and far
to the line,
between.
Denny Hamlin in the 11 has pretty
overall,
clear racetrack in front of him right now.
Steve, they are catching Hamlin even though they're side by side.
Denny Hamlin has a flat tire. Mike.
Oh, no, that's what happened?
Flat tire.
Oh, my gosh. That's a heartbreak.
Let's see if we can see anything, Larry.
Flat tire? Where? I didn't realize that's how he fell off.
Maybe you
I forgot about that. I feel so terrible for Denny. He was making history.
Boy, I don't know, Larry. It's hard to say. It's not. It may be going down, but it's not down.
No, that right front's rolling over all the way to the yellow letters.
If it's me, you gotta be sure, man. You can't take a chance.
Something's obviously wrong. Oh, man, he about put Junior in the fence.
There on the inside.
I think he's thinking, well, if I'm not going to win, JGR car will. Now he's holding everybody up. Oh, my gosh. Oh. What a move by Earnhardt. 3 wide to the top. That place had to have been going nuts when he made that pass. That place had to have been just absolutely... I would have loved to have been in the crowd when he made that move. Well, there go the chills. He's got a fender rub. Should be alright. Hamlin, if it's not a tire, something's wrong with the car. That is unbelievable. Something goes wrong with the car after he led 380 plus laps.
It's just hard to tell that right front is.
That is. I feel so bad. I mean, he had such a good run. I mean, he couldn't have had a better day until that point. That doesn't sum up Denny Hamlin's career. I don't know what does. I mean, that's just... I feel bad for him because he literally would have led every lap. All but one. I mean, technically, AJ Allmendinger led a lap under caution earlier. But outside of that, he would have led 399 out of 400. He already led the most laps in Richmond track history.
So close. But Daryl, I said it earlier, we've seen it so many times. It seems like especially at the short tracks with that 11 car.
I wonder where he's going to finish because he was getting passed by a lot of cars.
You can see right there, that's the integral back to Kyle Busch in the 18 car, up to Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That 11 car is going to have to come to pit road. I'm afraid if that tire is that bad, it's going to blow if he doesn't come pretty quick.
And Junior, in the lead, has not changed his line.
He's outside the top 10 already. Burton was 11th, I think. Yeah.
And can you just think
That's
about
10.
Bristol a few weeks ago?
Outside the top 10, just like that. See, at least in the stage racing era, he would have got a good points day out of it. For leading 380 plus out of 400 laps, like he deserved to have a good points day at the very least. That's one thing I do like about stage racing. Because otherwise, he would have gotten 10 bonus points, and that would have been it for leading the most laps. Oh my gosh, Sorensen just ran himself into the wall.
I tell you what, as we'll be coming to 10 to go, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Man, Dale really pulled away.
He has checked out to almost a second lead over Kyle Busch in that 18.
I mean, Dale was in the right place at the right time.
Right now is a caution. He does not need a caution.
Every one of Junior's laps is
10 to go. Right place at the right time.
Oh, the 11, there goes the tire. Turn 3 and 4, he just lost it.
And it couldn't happen in a worse place because he's not going to make it around.
It's going to be a caution.
Sitting there.
Wow.
He didn't need a caution. Junior didn't need a caution.
There's the caution.
What a shame.
A slow leak in the right front tire robs Denny Hamlin of victory, and now will cost him a lead lap finish.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you what, this is where those crew chiefs will earn their money down there right now, because we talked about the Nationwide Series race last night. These tires now have about 30 laps on them.
Hamlin had the race won, and then Junior had it won, and then there's another yellow.
You've got 16 cars on the lead lap.
Willy Wonka, thanks for tuning in. Who won the race? You'll find out.
But I don't know about the front half.
Right. Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to end the drought for Junior Nation. The longest of his career that he has gone without a win.
Now, pit road is over.
It'll end up being his second one.
We've got Jeff Gordon that's come to pit road. We pretty much got
it's neither here nor there.
7th back coming to pit road just as anticipated.
I feel so bad for Denny, though.
for stopping on track to draw the caution. NASCAR is going to park him for 2 laps.
Oh no, and then NASCAR parked him.
And I was a little afraid of that for him because
I was thinking about that. Now, granted, they probably would have had to throw the caution anyway because he did miss pit road.
So the first 6 drivers stay on track. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kyle Busch, Clint
Yeah, I think enough cars
Tony
stayed
Stewart,
out. I
and
don't think it
Martin
was going to matter.
Truex. The question will be,
Not enough
is
laps.
6 cars in that line enough of a cushion for Dale Jr. to hold off the
wings
drivers
after one.
that just got 4 fresh tires?
Well, the last couple of restarts I've seen
Let's
at
go.
18, and he did it to the 11 one time, and 88 doesn't get going all that quickly. Takes him a few laps. I'd look for that 18 to put a real charge on this restart. Maybe try to get around the outside of him down there in 1 and 2.
We'll hear from the top finishers interview-wise after this race, and then we'll end the stream as usual at the Throwback Thursday live streams. Appreciate everybody tuning in once again tonight. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Helps these streams out a ton. And every Thursday on the channel, we watch an old NASCAR series. Action's detrimental.
What really has to happen here, and we preach it all the time when we get to this point, with those old tires on those top 5, 6, 7.
But yeah, definitely hit the like button if you haven't done so, and also subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Live race commentary streams on the race weekend. This weekend we have live commentary streams for the Truck, Xfinity, and the Cup Series doubleheader on Saturday with the Xfinity and the Truck Series. First race will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Xfinity Series taking place at Richmond this weekend, and then at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the NASCAR Truck Series race will be taking place at Texas this weekend. So again, Richmond Xfinity Series, trucks at Texas on Saturday. We'll be covering both races on the channel, live commentary, doubleheader, and then for the Cup Series on Sunday, our live commentary stream, I believe, begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll double check on that real quick. I think 2:30 is when we're going live on Sunday for the Cup race, but
Will it be the first to the car with fresh tires? That's Kevin Harvick. Or Casey Kane, Ryan Newman,
do want to find out.
5 to go.
I'll remind you guys after the race. Oh, Kyle Busch spun the tires too. Dale went a little bit too far wide, it looked like, going into the first turn. Considering they weren't really up to speed getting into the corner.
Inside of Truex into turn 3.
You know, after losing
Dale had the race won if that caution didn't come out, though.
could get back up there.
I think he'll gain some positions. I'm just not sure he's going to have enough laps to get up there to these top 2 or 3. 4 to go.
Going to a Tigers Milwaukee game in April, awesome, man.
Boy, Kyle Busch got a great run off turn 2 down the back straightaway. You know he'll pack it down into turn 3.
Here he goes.
Boogie down in there, baby.
But will it stick?
And
Nope.
Junior gives him the bottom. Junebug's up.
Junebug's got that high.
Ready to go.
He wants to run it, but I tell you that ain't
I'm just like trying to envision myself in the crowd this day. Sold out. What they say, 112,000? Junior Nation.
Man, that was tight off turn 2. He's got him. I believe he's got him this time. Oh, he turned it.
No, that's a terrible time for an ad. Oh no.
Just write down the
I'll rewind it again.
Then write down
We get an ad right in the middle of that.
And then-
Oh, come on.
kind of done for the day.
This is on NASCAR's YouTube channel, by the way. I'll have you known. Sorry about that. Man, I really need to get the YouTube Premium. That's terrible. We had an ad right at that time. NASCAR knows what they're doing. Alright, they placed the ad in the right spot. They know this is the most replayed part of the race. Oh, he turned and Man, you just wish they could have raced it all the way back. The day Rowdy was born, ladies and gentlemen.
Makes contact with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Rowdy was born.
Will continue.
Boys, I just tell you something. That ain't going to go over too good right there.
No, it's not.
I love choked the little old boy to death, but that was not a good move right there. I was afraid of that when it got side by side late in the race on old tires.
I think there's a lot of people flipping him off.
Racing for the lead, Kyle Busch and Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming down the backstretch to turn 3.
I think you just see him. He just gets in there a little too hard, and of course Junior's not cutting him any slack. He's keeping him pinned down, but can't run over the man.
That was tough. It's tough to see how big the slide was getting into the corner by Busch. And it's also tough to tell if Earnhardt really crowded him getting in.
Down the back straightaway, they're neck and neck halfway down the back stretch.
Let's see.
You see Junior kind of roll out, but the 18.
And it looked like Kyle definitely went up.
Into him and turns him around.
It didn't. I mean, you would imagine Kyle probably just lost the nose of the car, but at the same time, it is really hard to tell, though. I know Kyle's gone on the record saying he didn't do it on purpose.
You know, it's just not. It doesn't work.
But at the same time, it does look like.
I saw the wheels on the 18 car turn to the right just ever so slightly.
Well, I think that was. I think it's because he got loose. He was loose getting in under Dale Jr. over there.
I mean, the car didn't really look like it slid. If he didn't do it intentionally, he definitely overdrove the car. Like, it wasn't the car getting loose and then he tried to catch it. He definitely overdrove it because he wasn't really on that yellow line. And Earnhardt gave him room getting into the corner.
Didn't give him enough room. There's Junior pedaling it right there. That's how Kyle got alongside of him.
Dale Jr. has come to pit road.
Oh, boy.
Imagine Kyle Busch wins after this.
He's still on the lead lap. We have
I mean, I know who won.
But
just imagine.
We'll have a 2-lap shootout when we get the green flag.
There will be no free pass.
By the way, Clint Boyer hasn't led all night until just now. Like, where the heck did he come from? Denny Hamlin led over 380 laps. You want to talk about a race getting nutty? He has a flat tire with like 20 laps to go. Loses the lead. Earnhardt was pulling away. Caution came out with about 10 to go. You get another restart, and then Kyle turned him. And now Kyle's not even leading the race after he turned him. Clint Boyer's leading for the first time all night. He's had a good day. He's been in the top 10 all race, but right place at the right time.
In 6th place. Now, we've run a few laps. Is that still a factor?
Well, I think it is, but I don't think there's enough
overtime
laps.
finish.
He didn't make very much progress with the new tires.
Mark Martin back up to 3rd. Tony Stewart out of nowhere at 4th.
Will restart 16.
I'll play the interviews from Dale Jr. as well as the race winner after this.
I'm not sure how much security they have here at Richmond, but they better be calling more.
I don't know about you, Larry, but I'm staying up here for a while.
This is a
Travis Quaffle's in 14th.
Passion for your driver and for the driver you most want to see your driver beat.
But it was the topic at the top of our show. It's Saturday night short track racing under the lights, and this is what we have.
When you get down to 10 to go, you get inside that window, man. You take both gloves off.
Last night was not without controversy.
No, they didn't race all that bad. I don't think.
Stephen Wallace bumped him out of the way. He bumped.
What happened here?
And Stephen ran.
Whoa! Who was that?
Talk to Stephen about it.
Who was that?
Grabs his helmet. And Kyle says, "Come on, you want some of me?"
Oh, it's Kyle Busch. The night before, Kyle Busch and Stephen Wallace get into a dispute, and then the next night he turns Dale Jr.
Yeah. Right now, I'm trying to figure out an escape plan myself.
You know those black helicopters you're always seeing? You want one?
I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about the guy driving the 18 car. How's he going to get out of here?
But one thing about it, Mike, you're right, is the more caution laps they run, the cooler the tires are getting on those cars that have the older hot tires on them.
You know, Darrell, we've had a lot of drivers in this sport who've wanted to win badly and who've made ill-timed moves late in the race.
3,000 hits and over 500 home runs for Miggy.
Around at Bristol. The fans didn't like it.
Not many players have been able to do
Earnhardt went on to become one of the biggest names in the sport. He was already. Didn't hurt much of his fan base, and you know, Kyle Busch has his detractors and his fans.
Blaney's back in the top 20.
See what happens.
It wasn't a cheap shot. No. I mean, they did race off into the corner side by side.
Kyle was at fault.
I can't say the man gave him a cheap shot.
I'm not gonna completely go out on the limb and say it was all intentional, but Kyle definitely it was Kyle's fault. I mean, Dale gave him room and he overdrove the corner. It's no different than like what Alex Bowman did to Denny Hamlin at Martinsville in 2021, something like that. It's still a young driver that just overdrove the corner and wrecked the guy on his outside. Like, there is a boundary. You just gotta try not to overstep.
So Dale Jr. will get a finish outside the top 10. Clint Boyer.
It's no different than anything like Ross Chastain does. If he gets, you know, Ross isn't trying to intentionally wreck these guys, but he's overdriving the car into the corner, pushing hard for a win or for a spot. He ends up wrecking the guy on his outside. You know, it's the same. It's literally the same thing.
You got to, and I think he's that kind of driver. I don't think he lets things
Just
like that affect him.
a little too aggressive, just pushing the issue. I'm not saying he was trying to dump him intentionally, but it was definitely his fault. Without a doubt.
If it should turn out that way. I got to tell you, his intention was not to wreck Dale Jr.
Another hat, man. They're piling him on all of the end. We didn't get most of this race. We can't even get to the finish. I still love how that Reese's ad played right in the middle. Oh, he turned it. And then it just cut to him. Could you imagine if that happened with Fox? I feel like that's something that actually happened this night. Fox's actual break. Oh, he turned.
I think I got my hands full now. Because it's a drag race into the third turn. They're side by side. Kyle gets a little bit loose getting in there. See how he gets loose and he starts washing up. And Junior's right on him. There's no room, and he gets into him.
That replay there, I think, showed how loose Kyle Busch got.
He just got in there.
I think this angle right here, though, does this one. It shows how far off the yellow line he was. He got loose because he overdrove the corner.
He turned that wheel, that car got loose.
He's about to spin out right there.
He got loose because he pushed it too hard, personally.
Where you saw Kyle Busch squeeze.
I didn't even grow up like a Dale Jr. fan. I was a Greg Biffle fan growing up. So.
That last replay showed
there's zero bias
here.
here.
He had from spinning that car out is get that thing turned back, and we know he has a ton of car control.
Yeah, it was not to try to turn that car
Not
off
at
into
all.
Dale Jr.
Not at all.
He was trying to save it. Jeff, you've had a chance to look at all these replays. What do you think?
Fox covering him up a little bit.
It's like this, Mike. It's real simple. And we
Definitely overdrove.
Outside, I saw all the DaleJr. Jr.
Blame it on you can blame it on me. I could have
It's going to be hard for them
YouTube
to
Premium. I did have it for a while, and then I changed my card. I had a new card that came in like 2 months ago or so, and I haven't updated it yet, so I haven't had YouTube Premium the last couple months for that reason. That's literally the only reason.
I believe it was a good, honest.
So yeah, you can blame me.
But man, when you wreck a guy who hadn't won a race in 70-some
Cardinals lost
it'll
10-9.
be a long time for somebody to explain that.
It's a wild opening day game.
You saw fans shaking their
They're
fists.
shaking their fist, but this is the kind of racing that you see here, and what we really expected tonight, we just didn't expect it with these two guys.
All right, so what is Kyle's mindset here as we get ready for the restart?
You're in trouble right now, Clint Boyer. That's all I can say. He is cocked, locked, and ready to rock. He's going to be coming after him pretty hard.
This kind of reminds me when I went to Road America. I was in Victory Lane after Chase Elliott won in 2021. We were waiting there. There was an interview with Kyle Busch. I think he finished top 5 that day. And they were interviewing Kyle Busch, and like everybody in Victory Lane was just like booing him. And this guy standing next to me, he's like, guys, he's like, he didn't even do anything wrong. It's like, why is everybody yelling? He didn't even do anything.
And he's right there with him as Tommy 18 is.
And it was because of this day right here. This very day was the sole purpose and the sole reason
Yeah, the guy that did not get a good restart was Tony Stewart back there.
why they were booing him at Road America in 2021 for finishing top 5 and not getting into anybody.
For that 18 car. Mark's gonna pack it down
13 years after the fact.
Side by side. White flag this time.
One to go for Boyer. Yeah, it was the second restart in a row. Busch kind of spun his tires getting to the green, but this time he only had 2 laps to catch up to Boyer versus he had 6 laps to get to Earnhardt. He was able to close in. Mark Martin's obviously causing Busch a lot of pressure, too.
Side by side. One
Now this is it for the win. Clint Boyer's going to take it to the bank, take it to BB&T and cash the check. He wins in Richmond.
Stole it.
just edged Mark Martin back to finish second. Looks like Tony Stewart fourth and Martin Truex
Clint
Jr.
Boyer
fifth.
stole
That
it.
guy had a lot of trouble getting out of Richmond. I think his name was Grant, wasn't it? That may be as bad as this one here.
in his 83rd start.
1 of 10 career wins for Boyer. You can thank Kyle Busch for this one. And that flat tire from Denny Hamlin, because Hamlin deserved to lead every lap in this race, and he did until he blew a tire with less than 20 to go. I still feel terrible for that, just because he was that close to history. Going wire to wire, blew a tire while leading. 380. Like 380 and blew a tire. 19 to go.
Clint Boyer comes through.
Finished 24th as a result.
Chevy driver Clint Boyer on winning at Richmond from Chevy. American Revolution.
Like I said earlier, at least in the stage racing era now, he would at least have a good points day for it instead of like not having a good points day at all for blowing a tire, something that was out of his control with less than 20 to go.
Kyle's good off the top here off of turn 4.
After leading 380 out of 400 laps.
But I think he really timed it right that time.
Controversy. Oh, bent bumper or two. Surprise winner at short track Saturday night.
Yeah, crew member in Dale.
A message from Fireball. Can I leave?
This work party ain't working.
Another ad. I don't advise this. Drink responsibly, everybody. We got kids watching. Oh, there's no interviews on this. Oh, that stinks. Yeah, this was on NASCAR's YouTube channel, by the way. There was no other full race version on YouTube other than on NASCAR's channel. This is the first time we've used this. Unfortunately, there's no interviews. Well, I guess that's going to end the stream. We didn't even get it with race winner Clint Boyer. That stinks. Didn't even get an interview with Boyer, who won the race. And obviously would have liked to see from Kyle Busch, Dale Earnhardt. Alright, well, I guess you guys could look them up on YouTube. I don't remember it being like all-time classic interviews, like soundbite-wise, so we'll, I guess that's going to end the stream. Kind of stinks. Same lab sled couldn't. Yeah, I know. 380 of 400 and blew a tire. It literally was something out of his control. It wasn't like his car faded. Blew a tire. And they had to restart before that. Never made any contact or anything, so he had to have ran something over. That's a tough break. But that's going to end tonight's Throwback Thursday stream. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you have not already. And we will be back with another Throwback Thursday next week. Dirt Bristol, so we'll watch an old Bristol race next week. And, yeah, that's going to end up wrapping things up here today. Yeah, it kind of stinks. I mean, I could probably, like, Google it. Try to find the interviews, but yeah, it's unfortunate that NASCAR didn't have it on the full-length race. They had the race at least. That was the only way I could watch it too. We usually go with like one of the other sites or one of the other YouTube channels, but they didn't have it. This was the only full race. There was finishes on the finish of this race on other channels, but not the actual full race. But yeah, that's going to be it for this week. So we'll watch an old Bristol race next week. Probably going to end up being a spring race of some sort from Bristol for next week's vote. So be on the lookout for that in the community tab. Every Monday on the channel you can vote for the race that following weekend. So thanks for letting me know that Bristol's next weekend because I was thinking it was Martinsville. But yeah, Bristol will be next week. Man, Easter's next week already. Crazy. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow night on the channel, NASCAR 22, Atlanta, full race live stream. And then this weekend we have live commentary streams. Saturday doubleheader for the Xfinity and the Truck Series. Xfinity race live commentary stream will begin at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Richmond race. And then the Truck Series will be at Texas this weekend, Texas Motor Speedway. Second straight week they're in the Lone Star State. That race begins at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So both races will be live commentated on the channel on Saturday afternoon. And then on Sunday afternoon, we'll have the live commentary for the Cup Series race as well. I was looking up the start time to that race this weekend. It's at 3:30, so we will be going live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually about 45 minutes for the drop of the green flag, we start the Cup Series live commentary stream. So 1 p.m. Saturday for the Xfinity race, Eastern Standard Times. 4:30 p.m. on Saturday afternoon for the truck race, and then the Cup race at 3 p.m. on, again, Sunday afternoon. So appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow night. For those who I won't see until Saturday, I'll see you then. And have a good rest of your Thursday evening.